All right, good evening and welcome everyone to Super Metroid and a Link to the Past combo randomizer. Today we have Maniacal versus lackattack in Group W. This is the winner moves on, loser goes into the losers bracket. So whoever wins this race will be moving on to brackets. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Hitaka. How you doing, Hitaka?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this match. Gonna be a good one. Maniacal, probably the favorite here. Very well versed, has been playing the SMZ3 combo randomizer from the beginning. Lackattack, no slouch, also a really good runner in a whole lot of different games. We'd have to sit here for a while if I were to list them all, but I do believe he's still the world record holder in Zelda 1, so in one of the Zelda 1 categories anyway. So we got someone that's very versatile in terms of playing this game.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best Zelda 1 players.
All right, and we will be starting any moment. All right. But yeah, like I said, should be a good one. Been looking forward to this one for a while, and here we go, and we're off. Okay, and I expect that they will go down and go right into Link to the Past here.
Not expecting any really Brinstar dips.
Nah. Well, especially in the normal version, where only one of those items is even in logic. I mean, you can get the second one, and I'd be shocked. I know Maniacal can get it. I'd be shocked if Lack couldn't get it as well. So, but it's only 2 items and quite a bit of a time sink.
Yep. I'm not a fan of that one myself in normal mode. Just a piece of heart on the island.
Yeah, we're not coming back for that. And Lack going ahead and checking Link's house gets 50 rupees. Maniacal heading to the Sanctuary. Interesting, Maniacal decides to save and quit out of the Sanctuary. Maybe he wants to switch to a bottom to top, which is... And he gets those 50 rupees as well.
Yeah, I know Maniacal is a fan of the opening that I usually do, where you start at Sank and then go to Houlihan. So you just guarantee enough money for bottle immersion and bombs.
Yeah,
no matter
and then,
what else you find and what the tree pulls are.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about that, and one of the differences that we find in the combo randomizer as opposed to Link to the Past by itself is because there are so many other trash items, so to speak, with all those missiles and stuff. Your money situation is not always going to be great when you head into Kakariko, so doing that sort of play is really nice.
It's a bit more akin to Key Sanity in Link to the Past, where that's also the case because all the keys and dungeon items are shuffled. There's more trash items.
Yep, for sure. And then we have... But so far, money, not too bad. It's like Maniacal's going to blind check the race game.
I also like this play because then if it's something that's, like, not required but useful, you can just grab it. But if you look and it's, like, mail or something, you kind of feel like it's a time waste to go get it, but you kind of want it, but, you know, eh.
I don't think you're good. You can take that bomb capacity. Yeah, he is. Okay.
I don't disagree with that because when you have no weapons, those extra 5 bombs, if you happen to get that many bombs, they can be useful.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did see a map check, so I saw crystals. I guess it was crystals on Desert and Hera, and was it a green pendant on Eastern? I think that's what our tracker... Our tracker has that covered for us. Shoutouts to Razor Flame Kun for doing the tracking for us today. Okay, so we're just picking up money left, right, and center, only it's not big money. It's like the middle-sized money that kind of inches your way up to having enough.
And we got our first PBs in Lost Woods. Always good to find those early.
Yeah, those first PB backs are very nice because when you go through Brinstar, there's a couple places where you really want to have a lot to be able to check everything. And a nice early luxury and half magic for Maniacal there.
That is definitely very nice to find early.
Not enough money for the bottle merchant at the moment, so he'll head back to that in a second. Let's see what Blind's hideout has today. Looks like you got a sword there. And our first super pack. And a Bombos that we may or may not need, but always nice to find. And just some arrows in the back. And one more major stop here at the well. Oh, and a moon pearl early. Of course, we have no way of getting into a Dark World portal, but it's nice to have that moon pearl. You don't have to worry about it. And a bottle at a good spot because we can check Sick Kid right away.
Yep. Always nice to find a bottle before you leave CAC.
Oh, and Maniacal at 91 rupees. We'll have to either leave the bottle vendor or farm up a little bit extra.
I think he'll probably hop in the well again. Yeah, looks like he's going there.
Yeah, I think so. It's a little bit quicker than going into Blind's hideouts. He only needs 10. You can get them here. Lack a little bit better off in his funds. He'll be able to get the rupees here and then be fine. And for our troubles, we get an ice beam. Not necessarily needed, but certainly good to have.
If nothing else, it really makes Torian shorter.
It sure does. Sick Kid with a heart container.
Doesn't he need those more than Link does?
Probably. Okay, Maniacal gonna head back up into the Lost Woods and do those checks since he came up from the south. And then we'll see what he decides to do next. That tree pole not really worth. And he'll probably save and quit out of this well here.
Just a shield in the library. Not going to be coming back for that.
No, definitely not coming back for a shield. Maniacal looks like he's heading over towards Eastern. Lack gonna go ahead and check the race game item first. This is like you were talking about before. You're definitely not gonna go get that bomb upgrade, having seen it instead of blind checking it. So.
Plus, now having already been through Keck, he's got a sword, so those extra bombs aren't really that useful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna look at Sarasala's hut here. Okay, it's Green Pen at Thieves Town. Okay. And not a whole lot behind him. And just some missiles so far at the dam. Looks like Maniacal's going to continue on over to Eastern Palace. Not a bad choice with Eastern being a pendant.
Yeah, and not even green pendant.
Yeah, so if he can get some items out of here, doesn't need to full clear it. He can get 5 of the 6 chests. Could get all 3 items, hopefully. He gets all 3 items. And an E-Tank. E-Tank at the dam. That's our first E-Tank.
It seems like there's usually an item on Armos, but not always. Sometimes you get lucky.
If there is an item on Armos, it might be a while before we see it. No one really wants to do that if they don't have to.
Nope. Ooh, Lack's gonna have to be careful in Mini Moldorm. He's gotta have heart.
Okay, I like his choice to use the bomb on that first one, and he's going to continue to use bombs because if you're not careful walking over those pits on the bottom and you fall in, then that's a death. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
Fan knows it
pretty
with the
clean.
bombs just fine. Oh, and a Master Sword. More money. This time it's big money. More little money and another power bomb pack. And more money for Maniacal as well. Lack not gonna head over to Ice Rod Cave. Just gonna save and quit. Probably gonna go over towards Eastern as well. Or could do escape. In fact, it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. And next chest is the big key. Unfortunately, I didn't see what the first item was in Eastern, so I don't know if there's going to be one, if there's one more item or two more. Maniacal is going to go ahead and check the big key chest. This is not in logic since we don't have a lamp, but Maniacal, well versed in Link to the Past, will have no trouble getting over there.
Yep, and with a sword, it's pretty much as easy as dark rooms get.
Yeah, pretty much.
Follow the sparkles.
Lack finding the map. Not really what you want to see. Ideally, that map ends up in the Dark Cross area.
Single arrow.
So nothing in Eastern.
And I believe there is an item on Armos still.
Yeah, chat saying first chest, or tracker saying first chest was the compass. So yeah, that means there's definitely an item on Armos Knights. Maniacal hopes he doesn't have to go back in to get it.
And he's also going to be doing escape, which hasn't been anything so far. Now, Lack did not steal the key, and didn't find the key, so we'll see if Maniacal decides to go for that or not.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that I could see Maniacal doing. Let's see, now where's Lack gonna go? Because we're starting to run out of choices here. We do have a Gina. Oh, looks like Lack's gonna go over to Eastern. Item density being better that way. We do still have a Gina. We do still have that early Super Metroid check that we talked about at the very beginning. I mean, the item could be there.
We still have Ice Rod Cave as well unchecked.
We still have Ice Rod Cave, yep. So unfortunately, we get to the point where the runners are already retracing each other's steps. And another option would be to fake flipper over to the Zora area. None of that is in logic yet. I can't see either one of them doing that until... well, no, I can't see either one of them doing that at this point. That kind of logic break when you know that there's got to be something progression-oriented in logic doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, if you wind up having Zora Money and Moon Pearl when you do Ice Rod Cave, you might do it just to clear that area out, because you can check everything there and see the Zora Ledge item, but
we're not there yet.
we're not there.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than not having enough money to go full clear that area. Or, they have the Moon Pearl so they can get into the Waterfall Fairy Cave. But the other bad thing is if you don't have that Moon Pearl and you go over there, then you have to check that later. Okay, Maniacal's not going to steal the key this time. That's probably the right call here, but yeah, he is definitely the type that would at least consider it.
Lack got to give the Eastern Big Ball a hug.
It looks like Maniacal's going to set up for a Death Warp and check the Dark Cross area.
Yeah. Now the key could be in Dark Cross, so even though he
Yep.
didn't steal it, we might still get to see what's back there if he wants to do the Dark Rooms.
Okay. The Green Guard, happy to kill Link so that Maniacal could start at the beginning of the castle. And we'll get a new check, and hopefully we can see it, because Dark Rooms being that notorious for giving us stuff that we can't see.
You have like a match the other day, a player got mitts here and did not notice for a while.
Maniacal doing a nice job navigating through the Dark Room with that sword. This room right here he's going through is probably the most dangerous room in the dark because of those snakes. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And they do half-hearted damage. They can knock your health down pretty low pretty fast if you're not careful.
And just missiles, which do show up in the dark, which is nice.
So the key is locked in the back now, so we're going to need gloves to check that.
Okay,
And
Maniacal... Oh, he hasn't done South Shore yet, so that's probably where he's headed.
He hasn't. Now, since he's running low on checks, I suspect he will go all the way to Ice Rod Cave.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Yeah, Lack in the meantime has Ice Rod Cave and Agina. Unfortunately, they're in different directions.
Looks like he's going to go to Ice Rod Cave first.
Grabs those rupees. Yeah, he might be... Yeah, it looks like he might be thinking in terms of that Zora farm. Still quite a bit of ways from actually having enough money, but he did go out of his way to pick up those 20 rupees to get himself closer. Okay, Maniacal grabs the E-Tank. Let's see which way he heads. Oh, looks like he's heading to Agina. It's an interesting choice. It's only one item versus the 5 in Mini Moldorm and the 1 in Ice Rod Cave, but if this is something good, it'll really pay off.
And we're probably going to get a peek at Desert Ledge, too.
Okay, just bombs with Ice Rod and just a missile, so... Agina, what have you got for us? Or are you going to send us back into Super Metroid?
At this point, it's either Agina or Morph Pedestal, or the Ice Beam also puts the ceiling E-Tank in logic, because you can freeze the Rio.
Yeah, actually, that's a really interesting point, because that Ice Beam may have been there for a reason. Granted, these players can do the D-Boost, but a little easier with that Ice Beam. Just power bombs there at Agina. Okay, Maniacal, no doubt now going to head over to Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod Cave. And get the bad news that there really isn't much there other than that Master Sword.
And that is a good point in chat. If one of these players wanted to really be bold, they could do Dark Aga for Dark World access with Pearl and Master Sword.
Yeah, I can't...
I don't think we're gonna see that.
I can't see doing that. Especially not without a Fire Rod. I mean, Maniacal in particular would be much more likely to break around Aga requirements by going through Meridia at some point. Okay, I think Lack has checked everything in Link to the Past that we have, so maybe he's gonna go for those fake flippers checks. He still a little short on Zora money.
Yeah,
Maybe just
that's
wants,
the
yeah.
direction he's heading. Oh,
Oh,
there
now
he
he's got it.
got the money.
That will be some new checks for us. Yeah, he's setting up for it right there. Using the NMG strat. Now, this is not likely to be any real kind of immediate progression unless the flippers are in one of those Super Metroid locations. It's like Maniacal may be doing the same thing. Unfortunately, he does not have the money for Zora yet, but he can do these other checks. Piece of heart and a missile. And Maniacal maybe does the hobo check first in order to try and hopefully, for his sake, get some money to be able to pay for Zora.
Also opting
yeah, go ahead.
not to get the free green potion from the fairy.
Yeah, so in version 11, that green potion will always be a green potion when you throw in the bottle. That was a change from the previous version.
Okay. All right, let's see if we got a life lesson or not. Ooh.
Oh, an item.
Flute. Interesting.
That's it. Oh my god. Okay, so that could mean that the flippers could be in that early Super Metroid part. Because that flute is out of logic. Maniacal is going to miss out on that. He still doesn't have the money for this.
Now, if flippers are in retrograde, and then flute is in its piece of progression, and we have Ice Beam, you know what that means. It could be an Alpha P seed.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one. That's one of those checks you just don't think about it until you're like, oh wait, I can get up to Alpha Power Bombs from Upper Norfair. Oh, Maniacal getting trolled because when that heart piece fills you up, it puts you back into the flipper state, and so you have to leave and come back through again.
Swimming in the floor.
Maniacal at least going to be able to check out what's on the ledge here, but he will not be able to get the Zora item. So we'll just see what he decides to do next. Maybe he'll go into Super Metroid and we'll see what's actually there. Meanwhile, Lack gonna rescue the old man. Yeah, Maniacal is gonna head into Super Metroid, and it's always nice you go into Super Metroid. He's already got 35 missiles, 5 supers, 15 power bombs, 2 E-tanks. No
more power bombs and supers.
That's a really nice power bomb count for when they do get their morph balls then.
Yeah, 15 is the ideal that for clearing Western Brin Loop without having to refill.
Okay, Lack getting a bomb capacity upgrade and getting trolled by those boulders, decides to take the health refill. See if he chooses to dip into Super Metroid to check the one item. Nope, he's not going to check the high jump boots E-tank item yet. Just missiles on Spectacle Rock that we don't care about. And in the cave, oh, that's a mirror.
Ooh, that's the mirror.
And they can do he can do Hera right now. Okay, energy tank. And let's see what's in the ceiling. There's gotta be something here. I bet it's the flippers. Because that'll just put everything that Lack's doing in logic. Oh, it's a glove. Okay, flippers and back of escape, maybe? Yeah, Maniacal having killed the Rio, unfortunately that not only makes it you can't freeze and jump off him, it also means you can't deboost off of him, so had to reset the room. Lack double checking his map. And Snaky making a good point in chat. Yeah, those gloves actually do put Zora in logic. So it wasn't the flippers that were going to get that in logic. It was the gloves. And of course, Maniacal has to go ahead and go back up the climb because he does want to keep those gloves. Maniacal doing a very nice ledge grab climb. And we're going to see our first look, get our first look over at Tower of Hera. Unfortunately for Maniacal, still doesn't have the money for Zora. At this point, maybe he does a Houlihan play to get that money. Probably does check the back of Escape first.
And my internet died for a minute.
But you're back. It's all good.
What did Maniacal find in Retrogrid?
He found a glove in the ceiling. So that ice beam was important. Put that item in logic. But this is kind of interesting because it might be a while before Lack gets to that glove.
Indeed, and we won't know when that flute is in logic. And depending on how the seed turns out, he might not actually even need that flute since you can get into Meyer via low and Arthur.
Yep, it is actually in logic now. It is because he does have the gloves to get to Zora.
Ah, yes, that's true.
It's easy. It's so easy to forget that because you know whoever uses gloves to get to Zora, right?
Yeah, really. I mean that's in vanilla, but
okay. Looks like Maniacal's going to go over to this cave and farm there for the rupees he needs for Zora. There's 50 rupees down here. And if you actually talk to the guy down here, he says something about, you're just going to steal my money and break my pots anyway, so. And Lack going to make quick work of Moldorm here. Get our first crystal, and gets the lamp. Which, I guess, at this point, only opens Dark Cross, which Maniacal's already done.
And Big Key Chest in Eastern, which was just a single arrow.
Yep, already done. So, not a whole lot of progression there.
It opens up Hera Basement, which...
Yeah, I wasn't paying close enough attention. I'm going to assume that Lack has already checked that. Yeah, and it opens up Aga logically, which maybe... Yeah, I think that's all we have.
That or, Alpha PBs.
Yep.
And looks like he's going straight to Aga.
Yeah, I think this is... I like this decision. The one thing I would have liked to see him do before this, since he was up there over on Death Mountain, is at least pop over to Super Metroid and do that high jump boots check where you can get the one item at the E-Tank.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick check. Usually you'll see players do that on their first Death Mountain trip.
Yeah, I mean... More so than the Alpha Power Bombs. That's probably going to take about just as long as doing the Aga play. And the Aga play will get you that permanent portal, which can be nice. And, you know, they do have the mirror. Like, the save and quit in the Dark World can troll you. So there's a good part and a bad part there.
Alpha PBs is pretty much a spot where you'll always last location just because it's such a pain to check.
Yeah, absolutely. But Lack first checking Dark Cross. Okay. Looks like he was going to save and quit for a second, thought better of it, decided to mirror out. And is going to go ahead and head straight over to Aga. And to those saying that Lack is way ahead, it is way too early to call anybody ahead at this point. Especially since it might be a while before Lack gets to that glove. Maniacal gets his flute. Okay, Maniacal no doubt going to go ahead and activate the flute first. And unfortunately, of course, Aga Tower pretty much plays out the same every time, so not a whole lot to comment on there. Maniacal can activate his flute. Probably going to head over to Death Mountain, do all the stuff that Lack did. Hopefully he does decide to check the high jump boost location.
I expect that he will, and also peek at the Crocky tank. Or not Crocky tank, Croc Escape.
Yeah, Croc Escape. Normally a missile pack, but I mean...
Yeah.
Okay. And we are heading over to 1. Maniacal, no doubt, going to rescue the old man as well. You want that save quit spot. This is definitely the place that you don't... if there's ever a place you just don't care about logic, it's this one. Because it's just so useful to have that save quit spot, even with the flute.
Lack's down at half a heart. You have to be careful. You definitely don't want to die in Aga Tower.
No. You only have to get a little further before there's some heart pots if you can get past this room here. But yeah, this is a pretty low item count for this area. Only having the Master Sword, I mean, that's pretty normal, but only 4 hearts and no nice extra weapons here. Okay, Maniacal can go find his mirror, which will no doubt take him over to Tower of Hera. Okay, Lack now at 3.5 hearts. He should be fine now.
And get your guesses in chat for how many blue balls we're going to see on Lack's side.
Yeah, and a reminder, you get to guess twice because unlike A Link to the Past randomizer by itself, this is not standard in the seed. So the number of blue balls Lack gets is not necessarily going to be the number of blue balls that Maniacal gets.
I see a 15 already. We're being mean.
Let's not see a 15, please. Okay, Maniacal is going to check this high jump boots item. Just some rupees. And is going to check the item behind Croc. And just another bomb upgrade. It has 3 bomb upgrades. I thought they took some of those out in this version. Oh, is he going to make the play to Alpha Power Bombs?
It looks like he is.
He is. Oh my.
Interesting play considering he just got the mirror and he's doing this before even checking Hera.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised he doesn't do Hera before this, but if this is the answer, it's going to pay off pretty well for him.
And I believe that was just 1 blue ball, so pretty good RNG.
Just 5 arrows. Looks like an arrow capacity, actually. No, it's just 5. Whatever. It's just arrows. We don't need them. Not what Lack was hoping to find here. At this point, he can dip into pod, but only 1 chest is actually guaranteed to be in logic there. He can't get over to Catfish because he doesn't have those gloves. Can't get across to get over to the western part of the Dark World. He doesn't have a whole lot he can do here.
And he does not have Kiki money.
Ooh, ouch. To answer the question of how can the same seed have different blue balls, is because it wasn't programmed in. I mean, it's something that was decided against for this particular randomizer. I didn't even see the item, but he reset really quickly, so it wasn't anything good.
Bomb. It was another 5 bomb capacity.
Wow, that's like 4 of those. I swear they told us that they were going to take out some of those capacity upgrades.
Yeah, I think they did, but that's probably most, if not all of them.
Okay, looks like Lax can do the Houlihan play so he can get into pod.
It makes sense. I believe none of the tree pulls were money, so this is definitely the fastest source of quick funds.
Okay, Maniacal saving and quitting. Probably going to go back to the mountain to go ahead and do Tower of Hera, I assume. Yep.
One of them was 5 rupees. Okay, that's slow funds.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a big 20 tree pull, you go for that.
Yeah.
But a 5, no. Also going to point out that it sure looks like that. Yeah, so this Aga play, we've checked everything else. It is required. You don't see that very often, that you have the Aga play required this early. And very often, especially in normal mode, you can break around a required Aga by doing Suitless Meridia or doing some Norfair Hell runs to find the item you're missing.
Yeah,
Runners don't have that option here.
Or just a fake flipper check sometimes.
I mean, I guess there is one other choice. I doubt Maniacal would do it, and Lax certainly didn't. That Ice Beam can help get them over to Bubble Mountain, but doing that as a Hell run, yeah, not worth in normal mode.
Yeah. Plus, I think they only had 2 E-tanks, which
2 or 3, that's way too tight.
I'm not
2
sure
is
that's
too
even
tight for sure.
possible with, because to get over with the Ice Beam, you have to wait for the Sova to crawl over, and with that little energy, I don't think that's possible at all.
Yeah, to give you an idea, Behemoth, who is one of the best Super Metroid players in the world, has done the 2-tank Hell run under normal conditions where you have like high jump boots, but with lucky drops. So yeah, you're not going to do that. Okay, let's see what Pod has for us in the first chest. A small key, so we're not bow locked yet. Okay, so we see arrows there. Yeah, nice Tower Hera getting our items right away. Don't have to check the big chest. Or actually, never mind. I think we are checking the big chest.
Yeah, Maniacal opted not to do the bomb jump.
Yeah, I don't blame him. The bomb jump is very precise without the Pegasus boots. It's a 2-pixel.
Yeah, and if you fall all the way down to the first floor, and it feels bad.
It feels real bad. So I want to say Lack might have left an item behind here, because Maniacal picked up that key in the big chest, and which says the other item would be in the base. Oh no, let's see what Moldorm gives. I don't remember if this was an item or not. Maniacal making very quick work of Moldorm. Gets his lamp. That's right. Of course, it was the lamp.
Yeah, it's the lamp.
Maniacal getting the bad news that your choices are a really stupid Hell run that's not in logic even remotely, or go to Aga. And we see Wave Beam over on lackattack's side, so that's going to potentially open Crocomire if we get Speed Booster. Or if we get Bubble Mountain access, I should say. Varia plus something that gets us through the Cathedral area.
Glove was in a Blue Burn Star Ceiling E-tank.
Okay, we're gonna watch Lack a little bit here because Maniacal doing his agate tower climb. Nothing gonna be seen here. Oh, that's a
Ooh,
gravity
gravity
suit,
suit.
which does nothing for us right now.
Not yet.
But it's good to find anyway. And there are those
And there's the
flippers.
flippers.
And I think we've
So,
done all. Yeah, we've. Well, between the two of them, we've done all the flippers checks. I don't think Lack checked the hobo.
no, he didn't.
Okay, let's see. Oh, looks like Lack is going to head over towards the portal. You don't often see runners using this portal in the reverse. Usually they save and quit. Oh, he's going to do the hobo first. Now that he has those flippers and puts this in logic. Yeah, the backup radio, just to be clear, is available, but you're not going to get very far without a morph ball. You can just stare longingly at the room and be like, yeah, I can't go any further.
And you ask yourself then, why can't Metroid crawl?
Maniacal
But
just
yeah,
using
with,
bombo strats.
that leaves the flippers don't open anything else that we haven't seen, so I think that leaves Catfish as the only possibility.
It does leave Catfish. Lack realizing he didn't check this item is going to check it now. And going to reset right out of it. And he'll probably finally go down to Blueburn Star. It's actually pretty interesting the way this seed has gated us. Even doing sequence breaks on lackattack side, he's still being forced to go down to Blueburn in the most annoying way possible to get those gloves.
Yeah, so far the seed has been extremely linear. Still waiting for either Morph or regular Dark World access to open it up.
Mm-hmm. And Maniacal is also going to have that same money issue that Lack did. The good news for Maniacal is that he can at least check Catfish, because he does have those gloves. And yeah, we see more guests in chat for our second Aga fight. Maniacal already getting a second blue ball. Or first blue ball, I should say, right in the first shot at it. Lex says, I don't need that E-Tank. I disagree a little bit with that choice at this early a stage.
He's probably thinking that if it's all garbage down here, he'll reset out.
Yeah, probably.
He might grab it now that he knows he has to keep this glove. We'll see what he does.
Also, there's a really good chance that the runners will end up back in this area later anyway, so he could also pick it up then. Oh, another blue ball for Maniacal.
Did Lack turn his Ice Beam off, or did he never do Bottle Merchant?
I thought he did the Bottle Merchant.
Okay, he did turn it off.
Also, one of the side effects of one of the new changes where we only get empty bottles. You'll notice Lack did not do the bottle glitch. Did not have I mean, don't blame him for it. The foresight to go buy that potion. Money being fairly scarce anyway. There is a mimic clip you can do there as well, but
yeah, he could have gotten the free potion from the fairy when he was doing fake flippers,
yep.
But he didn't, so.
I wonder if Maniacal will think to do that.
Maniacal's going straight to Catfish.
Yeah, well, it's kind of his only choice right now. He does, again, no money for
Yeah.
for entry into Pod. So he's going to have to hope that Catfish has something good or some money, or he'll have to go probably to that Houlihan play. Okay, Lack gonna check the back of Escape. He hasn't been there yet. And a hook shot.
There's the hook shot.
Baby.
That opens up a whole lot, both West Dark World and East Death Mountain.
So the interesting part about that hook shot is that it might be a while before Maniacal gets over to Pod. Let me see. Swamp Palace is a crystal, so he's gonna have to get there eventually and get those flippers. The gravity suit for Maniacal is more like, Maniacal is perfectly comfortable doing a suitless Meridia if it came down to it, but the flippers are going to be hard gated for him, so he is going to have to get over there at some point.
Yeah, getting those important items out of Pen and Pod this early could pay off for Lack in the long run.
It really could. Maniacal going to be able to check Graveyard Ledge early, which is nice because this is one of those easily orphaned locations. And just Container Heart, but we're still pretty low, so not a bad find, but not what you're looking for.
Yeah, Green Mail, Dark World, War Hearts are welcome. Things hit pretty hard.
They really do. Lack happy with his hook shot. He'll follow Maniacal, I'm no doubt. Nah, he's gonna go straight to Death Mountain. And with 2 hearts, I like his choice to get the refill.
I personally like checking Death Mountain first in this instance, because optimally you really want to find the hammer before you start getting over towards Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
Although with Thieves Town as a pendant, they might not opt to full clear just yet.
Yeah, Thieves Town, the green pendant. I'm one of those. I'm very outspoken about my dislike of pendant thieves. It's one of those things that, yeah, always check the front, and it always seems like if I check the back, there's nothing there, and if I don't check the back, the thing I need most is there.
It does feel like that sometimes.
Okay, our first checks in Paradox Cave, we got missiles and an X-ray scope, which might come in handy if we get charged in plasma. Maniacal getting his Kiki money with that first check in Village of Outcasts, 300 rupees. As he checks his map again. Okay, I missed those first couple items over at the top of Paradox Cave, or the bottom, or whatever. Looks like based on that sword swing, I'm not thinking there was much there. And a shovel for Maniacal, that's always the fun item. Yeah, our tracker razor flame is telling me that there was nothing important, so. And another container heart in the chess game.
Silver arrows on Floating Island.
That's an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see if they go for that later. Maniacal, I know, is perfectly capable of doing Silverless Ganon. I would suspect Lack as well. Actually, of course he is. They both have NMG times.
Oh, yeah.
for Link to the Past, so you don't get silvers in NMG. So neither one needs those, so they might opt to skip them.
I think what they might do is, when they're on their way to GT, if they have Tempered or more, they'll skip it, and if they
Yeah.
have Master, they might consider getting it.
Yeah, I think that'd be very reasonable. Our first look at the dig game. And this is a lot of digs. And an E-Tank.
And not getting away before the text box comes up.
Yeah, that was a lot of digs. It wasn't likely he was going to make it.
Nope.
But this is interesting. In some sense, the best thing that could happen for Maniacal is he doesn't find any more progression on the rest of this loop and gets forced over towards Pod. So we didn't see a whole lot in on East Death Mountain. Grabs an extra power bomb pack. We're still low enough on power bombs that it's a nice extra safety, nice extra. We don't have to worry about running out, especially without regular bombs or a spring ball to supplement. We're going to see that shovel turned in right here. And a bow. Oh, that could.
That might send him to Pod.
That might send him to Pod. Yeah. Because that's the only other thing that opens up is Armos Knights. The bow technically required, even though we have Pendant Eastern and Pendant Pod because of the climb up GT. It is possible to sequence break through the mimics there by mimic clipping, and I know Maniacal knows how to do that. I also know that he'll be very happy he doesn't have to.
Yeah, that trick can be a little touchy. Alright, let's see what we have in Hype Cave.
More power bombs. Power bombs not going to be an issue. Missiles. E-Tank. A mushroom.
Fetch Quest and Quake.
Wow.
That's a TBD right there.
Yeah, it sure is. And it does definitely gets downgraded no matter what the mushroom is, just for having to go turn it in.
And Quake, we don't know yet.
Okay, Maniacal mirroring to the light world. Probably, he's gonna turn that mushroom in right away. He's right here. He can fake flipper into this little pond and go straight over to a whirlpool very close to the witch's hut.
Meanwhile, Lack has dove into Skullwoods.
So we got some new checks here. Unfortunately, I missed what he's picked up already. Looks like he dove in, just got the small key. And now the big key, so he'll be able to check the big chest here. His health not great for the bomb jump setup. He's going to skip it for now. Oh, just bombs at the mushroom.
Just 3 bombs.
Maniacal going to pick up a blue potion.
Maniacal also did not save scum the mushroom, so he will not be able to fake powder if he finds the cannon later.
Okay, it is going to check East Death Mountain. We know there's not a whole lot there. Okay, Lack just going to death warp this so he can get some health back.
Yeah.
Before checking the big chest. That bomb jump would kill him anyway with green mail and 1 heart. Or maybe he'd already checked the big chest and I'm just blind.
Yeah, he already checked it. He just wanted to get his health back before running around the overworld.
Yeah, that's really smart. So nothing in Skull Woods then, huh? Wow.
Not yet.
This seed is really gating them in a very linear fashion. And like I said, that's really good for Maniacal situation right now because he's gonna be forced into pod a lot earlier than he probably wants to be. And we're back to the let's do all the checks the other has done. No, Maniacal has not entered Thieves Town yet. But if I'm choosing between Thieves Town and Pod with a bow, I'm gonna follow that bow.
Yep, and Lack in the meanwhile is dipping Thieves Town.
Yeah, Lack having already done most of Pod, or the parts of Pod he could do, this makes a lot of sense.
I'm of the philosophy to always do front four of Thieves Town no matter what it is.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people like to call the Skull Woods checks just overworld checks. I don't really agree with that because there's so many keys in Skull Woods. But Thieves Town, you're not guaranteed to get an item in the front four, but it's pretty rare that the front four is no items.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 items and 4 non-item, or 4 dungeon items and 4 regular items. Maniacal saving and quitting to Link's house. And it looks like he's gonna head towards that portal, and I think that's gonna be a pod play. Also because it's a lot longer walk to try and get over to Thieves Town at this point, because we still don't have Dark World access other than the Aga portal.
That's right, with just the Aga portal, it is a long slog to get to most of the Dark World. Just a heart piece in front of Thieves Town.
Yeah, and Lack leaving, and I wonder if there's more there, because again, we're running out of locations. We've seen pretty much everything except the Bowlock stuff in Pod, and the Armos Knights item in Eastern.
That's right, that Armos item is in Logic.
Okay, Lack can do a whole lot of digging for his dig game item.
We'll be able to see a little bit more of Pod with the right side Bowlock items, but if there's nothing but Flippers and Gravity in there, which doesn't immediately open anything, we might see Maniacal go do that Eastern clear.
Yeah, I think so.
Here. Although Flippers does open up the first chest of Swamp.
Oh, baby. Everybody's favorite check. Could see them go there, too. I mean, we're like I said, they're running out of places. Although I think I would do the back of Thieves. I didn't actually count the number of items that Lack got. He did get some.
I think he only got 1.
Yeah, so if that's the case, it's really 4 items in the back of Thieves Town. Now, the bad news is, did we see the key? Because they could leave an item behind in that big chest.
I don't think so. I think it was no small key.
Yeah, Maniacal gonna throw this bomb right now to get that little tunnel open. Lack, meanwhile, doing the Dark World checks that Maniacal is already done. Okay, we've seen 2 keys in the front 6 of Pod. There has to be at least 4 keys here. So Maniacal does not want to see 2 keys over here on this side, because that would mean that the item at the big key chest could be an actual item. If it's otherwise, it would be guaranteed a key, and that's what you want. You never have to go back there. Also, thankfully, the runners have the mirror for pod. Routing pod without the mirror is just a pain.
Oh yeah, you have to either take the warp a lot or just die a lot.
Okay, small key and a small key.
Key.
That's unfortunate. There could be an item in that big key chest. I don't recall all the numbers on Lack's side, so we'll see what happens here. Maniacal's gonna go ahead and just check it. With the mirror, that's not a bad choice because you can just mirror out.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he didn't have the mirror, I don't think you check this right away. You wait and see if it could be that last small key. And it's just the compass. Okay, Lack gonna turn in his mushroom for some disappointment.
So I think we've seen everything available in pod now.
Yeah, we have.
So still no immediate progression.
So we're down to back of Thieves Town and first chest is Swamp. Oof.
And Armos.
And Armos, yeah. not pretty. Oh, Maniacal setting up for the hammer jump. Already has the big key, so this makes sense to do it. He gets his flippers. Gonna pick up his gravity suit. It looks like Lack may be heading over to Eastern. And also may clear out the rest of pod that he didn't get to. Okay, Lack leaving that mirror portal. Yeah, I think he is going to do Eastern. And maybe, if there's nothing on Armos Nights, maybe heads back into pod for those 2 items he missed. Maniacal thinking about it. What are we going to do? Okay, does decide to go mirror out and is going to go do Eastern. Now, I missed it. Do we get both map and compass? Do we know if there's an item on Helma?
Definitely found the compass.
Yeah, the compass was in the big key chest. Don't recall seeing the map, so if that's the case, that's good news. The only way they'd have to go back in there if that's the case would be if there's an item on Ped. Yeah, so, yeah, okay. The point made in chat, yeah, you need the hammer to get to Helma. You can actually use bombs to remove the mask on Helma itself.
Yeah, if you're like me, then as a kid you use bombs. Because you didn't know about the hammers for some reason.
See, I'm kind of the other way. Like, I assume the dungeon items were given to you for a reason, and thus you had to use them. So I would have used hammer on Helma, but would have also used fire rod on Mothula and refilled magic, thinking the sword wasn't going to work.
But then, did you use Kane on Vidi?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I did that. Okay, Lack setting up for the quick kill on Armos Knights. Oh, let's one get away. Maniacal setting up for it as well.
Just a big 20.
I think that's going to send both our runners over to Thieves Town.
Yep.
Maniacal also hasn't dipped Skull Woods at all, so he might check there.
And I don't believe Lack did the middle Skullwoods check where you have to push the statue on the block.
Yeah, I don't think
that's a slow one that people will skip a lot of times if you don't have the cane.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lack heading over to Death Mountain.
I think Maniacal fluted to 3 to use the portal and then realized he couldn't.
Yeah, that I can't say I've never done that.
I've done that plenty.
And Lack looks like he's gonna go for that Alpha Power Bombs location. We know there's nothing there. Okay, chat's saying that Lack found both Skullwoods items in the first area, so didn't have to check that middle one. And Lack has to turn his Ice Beam back on. I don't blame him for turning it off. I often will turn it off too, especially when I just have that pea shooter.
Have we seen what's on Bumper Ledge yet?
I don't know. Of course, we don't have the cape to get it. I want to say Maniacal. I want to say that they routed it in. Okay, Maniacal
saying it's nothing.
Maniacal gonna check Thieves Town first. Hopefully, he goes all the way through. Because at this point, I can't think anywhere else we haven't looked. I mean, at least if you're gonna have a pendant Thieves Town, have one where you're basically gated to the point where you have to go there.
Yeah. Swamp is the other option, but that's only one item, so no reason to do that before full clearing.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, and Thieves Town it really is 5 items because it is the green pendant.
Yeah. And hopefully the small key is locked in the big chest. And
oh, please. Yep, there's the item, just one piece of heart in the front. So Lack gonna make his way back over to the Dark World, and will likely make his way over to Thieves Town as well. And if the answer does turn out to be Swamp Palace, they're going to get there at about the same time, because Maniacal will full clear Thieves Town, and then probably check Skullwoods. Lack, having already done the Skullwoods checks, will just full clear Thieves Town, but he's already a little bit behind in doing that. So, yeah, we're going to be pretty synced up if that happens. And power bombs.
More power bombs, and no way to use them.
Yeah, power bombs not going to be an issue today. I think we could go through the Metroid rooms twice and kill them all at this point. Maybe even 3 times. Okay, we really hope this is not the small key. And it's the
And
morph ball. There it
there's
is.
the morph ball.
Pay dirt.
Back
this
of Pendant
point-
Thieves strikes again.
Yeah, and Maniacal's gonna go ahead and finish this out. You may as well at this point get that green pendant. Don't think he's gonna turn it in anytime soon, but and fortunately we don't have to worry about the big chest either, so. And if we do everything right, this fight will be nicely scripted.
So both runners are going to get morph about a minute apart, and then a very large amount of Super Metroid is going to be open to them, so we'll have to see how they decide to route this.
And Maniacal decides, I'm just going to switch to that blue cane and destroy blind that way. He's going to save and quit, not going to go do the Skullwoods checks. And going to reset to Super Metroid and start doing some Super Metroid now that we have a proper morph ball. Always interesting when you get to Super Metroid and you've got 60 missiles, only 10 supers, which is actually pretty low, 35 power bombs, 5 E-tanks, gravity suit.
That is a shockingly low amount of supers for how many checks they've done.
It really is, but the power bombs make up for it quite a bit. Like, you'll be able to, usually when you do Gauntlet right away here, you're going to have to refill your power bomb somewhere. No, we don't need to worry about that. We've got so many. Yeah, also lacking to go ahead and finish out Thieves Town. No surprise. And another E-tank. Yeah, Gauntlet pretty safe with this many power bombs and a gravity suit. And the back has a bottle and some bombs.
Another bottle.
Yeah, we'll take the bottle. Bombs, not so much. Maniacal says, I'm not taking any chance I'm going to farm up some extra power bombs. He is going to check Terminator.
Another E-tank.
Another E-tank. 7 E-tanks already.
It looks like Lack is opting to walk to the portal.
Yeah, I don't really like this choice. It's just so much faster to save and quit and reset. But this does put him right near 230 missiles. You might want to go ahead and check this right away. 230 missiles called that because in an 100% run, this is the last item you pick up. And the last missile pack, thus 230.
And there's
a hammer. And a piece of heart, a spring ball, and a missile that we don't care about. Spring ball is nice, though. We're also going to do Bomb Chorizo. So now we got some more proper Dark World axes.
And with that hammer, pedestal is now in logic.
Oh, baby. Yeah, we're still at that point where there is a lot of things that could be there, too, so...
Maniacal thinking about saying nope to the nope tank, but then decides to grab it.
Yeah, reserve tanks have their uses.
Yeah, without Varia, there's still a potential for hell runs in the future.
Yeah, and to those of you that say those aren't in logic, yeah, that doesn't matter. Maniacal will do hell runs. I don't know Lack well enough to know if he would, but it would not surprise me if he would do them as well. Also, Maniacal is one of those players that would, if it comes down to considering himself in go mode or searching for Varia, he'll be very likely to just consider himself in go mode and just go for the lower North Fair hell runs and call it good. Yeah, I see people calling one of the runners ahead. I don't. It's way too early. There's too many things that we have to find to call anybody ahead at this point. It's from a lot less dangerous with a gravity suit. And we get another super missile pack. Yay! 15!
Yeah, oddly enough, if Crystal Flashes were to become a thing, right now supers are actually the limiting factor on those usually power bombs.
Yeah, really. I'm gonna check the backdoor Spore Spawn item. Maniacal trying to set himself in the right spot. You know you got it when the world shakes like that. Okay, one reserve. Nice. Yeah, he's definitely thinking ahead that, you know, if I want those extra tanks just in case I decide to do that lower North Fair hell run.
It's like a reflex to turn away from a reserve tank.
It really is.
He has to change his mind and decide, no, I do want that.
Okay, gonna check the wave gate. This actually is in logic since we do have wave beam.
And Maniacal remembering he has wave beam and not just doing the clip anyway.
To be fair, for a really long time he preferred to do it with the supers. Until I think it was Kip, who's a Super Metroid only runner, or at least isn't linked to the password. I finally convinced him to test it out and realized, oh, it really is faster to just use the wave beam. And really not that hard. The limiting factor on the wave beam is you saw the way he was able to morph out of that shot. That is not actually that is not an easy thing to do. But I think he tested and found out even if you fall once, it's still a little bit faster than going for the super shot. Okay, now let's see if he goes and finishes up Blue Brinstar or if he just goes all the way to Kraid. He did lay the power bomb to open the door. It looks like he is going to do the whole full-on Bryn loop here. Which indicates maybe he does wreck ship after this. That is an annoying wall jump, but he could have used the ice beam to help him out, but yeah, he gets up there. Does decide to pick up the heart piece. And our third bottle.
Another bottle. With both runners with the gravity suit, I'll be interested to see when either of them decide to go to Meridia.
Yeah, they could go right now. This is not a great setup for Meridia. No space jump, no speed booster, not even high jump boots.
Indeed. The whole thing is accessible, though, without speed booster, because they can get through the portal in the back with the flippers.
Yep.
Ooh, and there's the boots.
Which really only opens up one location, but at least it, you know, it makes you go faster, which is always good. Desert's not,
King's
Right,
Tomb.
because they can mirror to King's Tomb.
They can mirror there.
Yeah, I didn't forget King's Tomb. I just forgot the mirror. That'd be. I don't think. I doubt you'd go check that until you have bits if you can avoid it.
Yeah, since they've already done Graveyard Ledge, that would be a pretty slow check without it's.
Okay, I thought maybe Maniacal would check the speed booster item, the Criteria Supers location, but has decided not to. It's kind of a slow check if you don't have speed boosters, so I don't really blame him for choosing not to. Also, the fact is, they can't even look at Waterway. So if and when they do get that speed booster, it makes a little more of an incentive to go ahead down there with 2 items. A little less annoying to go down there with 2 items available rather than just 1. And Maniacal gonna go over to bomb trees. I want to say this was an E-tank. Yep, and he takes it. Yeah, he's definitely thinking ahead to that possible lower Norfair play. Because at this point, if you're not thinking about doing that, you're not picking up any more E-tanks.
Definitely not reserve tanks.
Maniacal decide, you know what? I don't really need to Alcatraz. I'm going to the right anyway.
And then he goes to the left.
Then he goes to the left. Okay, well, surprisingly, he maybe he might just go ahead and save and quit to Death Mountain so he can get back over to Kraid's area.
Maybe. Or is he thinking about backdooring Meridia?
Could be. Yeah, he could be doing that. Actually, I kind of like that, because you just go ahead and just do Dragon now, and then if you have to check more of Meridia later, you can do that later, but the actual Dragon part of it, pretty easy, even without high jump boots and...
No, I think he's going to Swamp.
He's going to Swamp, okay. This is a crystal dungeon. It does have 6 items in it, so a lot of item density. Okay, Lack also going to skip checking the item at the Criteria Supers. But yeah, as is being pointed out, they have a lot of choices now.
Lack getting hugged by Usain Bolt there.
It's like Lack might be doing the same thing going into Swamp Palace. I like that they get the big key in that first chest is always nice. One of the most annoying things, if your plan is to full clear Swamp Palace and you don't have the big key before you get to the big chest, then there's always that worry that, yeah, I'm gonna go to the back first and finish up the dungeon, but then the big key could be on the left side and force you to a backtrack to the big chest, and that never feels good.
Yeah, Lack also doing Swamp. It's a dense crystal dungeon, definitely a good play.
And right now, it's the only crystal dungeon they can do, so you might as well knock it out and then do some Super Metroid checks afterwards if you don't get anything that leads you anywhere else. Okay, first we got some 20 rupees as our first item. The map in the big chest. Oh,
So,
Maniacal
map
is gonna go.
compass.
Maniacal gonna go ahead and do left side right away.
Yep, there's at least one item over there now that we found the map.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, if you're gonna full clear this anyway, it's probably a little bit faster to do this first.
Yeah, it is. You have to make one less trip around since you have the key to start with from the
Yep, exactly.
main room.
And yeah, and of course, like we said, they already able to check the big chest. Let's see if Lack does the same thing. Okay, Lack gonna check the bottom part. We'll know to open the big chest. We'll see if he goes to the back, or goes to the side. Looks like he's doing the same thing.
There's the fire rod.
Ooh, so definitely need to do this. Yeah, the worst part about left side swamp is you can't even mirror out. I mean, you could, but it doesn't save you anything. Okay, now Maniacal gonna go ahead and head to the back so you can get that second crystal. And Fire Rod will open up Skullwoods to them, so they probably will both go ahead there next. Which will then force them back into Super Metroid, because we know that there's nothing there. When Maniacal goes and gets those first two items, that'll give Lack a chance to catch up a little bit. And we'll be pretty even. But now we're getting all that money. Okay, Maniacal about to head into his Argus fight. A little annoying to have to do this with Master Sword, but this means a couple of slashes instead of one. And it looks like neither one of them knows how to do the bomb strat for the diver down. I don't think Maniacal has learned the Canis Mario version either.
No, I know he hasn't learned Icebreaker either. He's, he seems to not, care that much about new tricks if they just are, like, minor time saves.
Yeah, the diver down is kind of a minor time save. The Icebreaker can be a big time save in the right situation. Okay, and Argus is down. Maniacal will get his second crystal. And 20 rupees.
And this is a 5/6 crystal with Skullwoods being the other one, so Pyramid Fairy is on the table if he wants to do that after Skullwoods.
Yeah, I fully expect we'll see Skullwoods, and then, yeah, we might see that Pyramid Fairy right away after that. And Maniacal is going to head over to Skullwoods. We'll see if he rushes the back and then checks the front, or if he checks the front for items first. Whereas Lack will just be able to go straight to the back. Okay, Maniacal is going to check the front first. Just going to grab that one missile pack.
Yeah, it's pretty common if you're going to beat Mothula anyway to do the back before full clearing the front.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. In this case, if he'd found a small key there, he might have gone further. With the way he went in, he can't go further. He'd either have to drop down, or he'd have to grab a small key from another location.
And having a bit of a Gibdo party over here.
Those Gibdos are nasty. There's quite a bit of conversation going on in some of the Zelda communities about what's the worst room in the game in Legend of Zelda, and that one is definitely on the table. Alright, we're going to head straight to Mothula here. Master and Mothula, not the best thing in the world, but they do have that fire rod, they do have half magic. I'm pretty certain they both bought a blue potion if they need it. I'm out getting bunnied. We're going to go ahead and use that potion so you can continue using that fire rod. Also a bit of safety. I only took one more shot.
One more hit.
And he is going to lose a little bit of time here to Lack, because he's probably going to go ahead and check that bottom bridge chest before heading to the front and finding the rest of his items. Fortunately, he does have that mirror to get out quickly. And we'll have to head back to the front.
A very nice Moth fight from Lack. Moth was not being very cooperative, but I think he only got hit once. Did not take very much damage.
I'm going to go ahead and fall down into the hole. He'll be able to check both items from this, and then he'll probably just save and quit. Probably save, quit, and reset. Okay, Lack, meantime, done with Skullwoods. Let's see where he's going next. Maybe he's gonna go check that King's Tomb location. It's probably as close as he's gonna be there to that location without having mitts, so not a bad idea.
And he's checking Bonk Rocks at the same time.
Yeah, it's a good idea. $20 rupees in Bonk Rocks. It's like Maniacal's gonna do the same thing here.
Oh, Maniacal didn't check Lumberjack, so now that he has boots, he's gonna check it. In fact, since he already beat Eggy, he's just gonna blind collect it.
Yeah,
Why
might
not?
as well. Trying to remember what it even was.
I think it was an energy tank.
Given the way it was, given the way he's been picking up energy tanks, I don't think he's gonna be upset about that one. I think Lack's heading over to... maybe not. Thought maybe he's gonna go turn in that green pendant. He may still be going to that green pendant. No, he's not.
Ooh, Maniacal having a murder-dactyl party.
Those are the worst. Yeah, Lack also could go ahead and kill Helmasaur and get that pet item. That would be our third pendant. Oh, he's gonna do the Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, he's gonna do the Pyramid Fairy. That makes a lot more sense.
With so much SM still available, I don't think we're gonna be seeing Ped for a while.
No, not at all. It's a shame they didn't have the book to check it, but yeah, you're not gonna lift those rocks, Maniacal, yet. And then one of the nice things about killing Akka is it makes this turn in a lot quicker. And Pyramid Fairy has for us rupees and missiles. Like it's gonna go ahead and get that bottle filled though. And Maniacal heading over to the Dark World, probably gonna do the same thing.
Interestingly, despite how much the seed is opened up, both runners have been routing pretty much identically since getting the Morph Ball.
I know, it's... I'm guessing Lack's heading over towards, gonna finish up these Hyper Jump Boots checks. Probably gonna go ahead and do Kraid while he's at it. Just an E-Tank. But another Super Pack is nice. Maniacal getting the bad news that there's nothing in Pyramid Fairy. We'll see what he decides to do next. Oh, gonna turn in that green pendant, I think. And going into Dark World, so he maybe is gonna go ahead and finish up Pod and do the pet check. Or maybe not.
Thinking about backdoor Meridia as well.
Yeah, that could be. And just rupees at that green pendant. So the Thieves Town only had that morph ball, which when I say only, I mean that's pretty big. But they both full cleared it.
You know, half the game.
Yeah, they did full clear it, but I mean they could have saved time not full clearing it, but yeah, the green pendant certainly incentivized them to do it. Oh, Lack missing the quick kill on Kratos. He's gonna go. He still got a shot at it though. Nope, doesn't get it. And I think you're right. I think Maniacal is going to go ahead and backdoor Meridia. Yeah, this is a tough place to be in as a runner when you get the let's pick where the Super Metroid, what progression we're going to get in Super Metroid and where it's going to be. And a Tempered Sword for Lack.
Tempered Sword.
Not a needed item, but definitely a wanted item, so.
Yeah. I'll be surprised if either of them pick up the silvers after finding that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the difference between, I mean, either one of these runners would have been perfectly capable of doing a Master Sword fight with or without silvers, but given the choice, you'll take that Tempered Sword.
So we're finally getting some divergence between the two, and that is the final medallion. So we still don't know what the medallion requirements are, but it doesn't matter.
Yep, we don't care.
For lackattack. And Maniacal will definitely be getting that either.
Oh, for sure.
That's a free check.
Yeah, it's interesting. The only checks we've seen that are ones that you don't always want to do are ones that they were basically forced to do. The ones in Thieves Town and the ones in Pod. Although, interestingly enough, this could have been a very different seed if either one of these guys had done Thieves Town and done the back of it before going into Pod. That would have been, and that was an option. Maniacal out of ammo, so he's got to farm up a little bit. We see 10 arrows at Spazer Beam. And Lack gonna go into Meridia now. From the front door. Looks like when Maniacal got to the point where he had to farm, he might have only been one missile short there.
Yeah, it was only a couple hits. Just a fiver.
Just 5 rupees.
And I believe he has to gravity jump to escape.
Yeah, with this item set, that's his only real choice. Yeah, actually his only choice at all. Fortunately, gravity jumping is not too difficult.
Nope.
Lack gonna check the Mama Turtle item. This is not in logic. You can get up to the item with a spring ball jump. But it's just rupees, so we don't care. Oh, and a gold sword.
And
Oh, there you
there's
go.
Butter Sword.
It just makes it even less likely that they're going to go pick up that silver. Okay, to answer the question in chat about gravity jumping, it's a trick in the game that allows you to jump higher in water or lava. Basically, what happens is you want to pause and then jump as late as you can into the pause, and then take off your gravity suit. So you'll have a nice bit of momentum to start the jump, because when you jump with gravity suit or just in normal air, you tend to go fast to slow, and then when you jump in water, it's the other way around. You get more momentum in the jump, and that momentum gets preserved, so you can just go higher. The later you jump out into the pause, the higher you will go.
It is not in logic for a normal difficulty.
It is not. But it's a pretty standard trick in Super Metroid Randomizer, and that's a pretty standard trick for hard mode. Okay, let's see if Maniacal just... Looks like he's going to go for the snail clip. Also one of those not in logic things for normal mode, but is in logic for hard mode. Don't quite have the snail in the right place yet. It's really close there. Yeah, but I thought he was going to be able to get it with that X-ray. Now that other snail's going to get in his way too. Okay, he's going to wait and let it go into the other side.
When there's a charge beam.
Yeah, nice. That's a really nice find, because our supers just are not as high as the runners might like them to be. Okay, Maniacal going to give up on the snail clip. Sees a missile in the one item that you can see. Unfortunately, it can't check the other item. Looks like he's going to do a bit of a save scum to check the sand pits. And there's an ice rod.
Ice rod. That's a very good find. Required item that can be pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, no ice rod hunt for us today, and that's a really good thing. Because Maniacal will most likely full clear the rest of Meridia before leaving. The one place he may not check is Plasma. Right now...
Ooh,
oh, and a red
snail
cane.
clip and finding cane.
Nice. So that's that could be big. We'll see if Lackattack knows how to do the snail clip, and if he doesn't. It really doesn't tell us a lot about where Speed Booster is. It does tell us it cannot be in GT. It does tell us it cannot be in Turtle Rock, and it cannot be on Vidi.
Mm-hmm.
And Maniacal wanting to keep that cane. Looks like he did take another save. Oh, and Mitts in this first sand pit, so he's definitely not going to be resetting over this one. And looks like just miss up supers. Okay, looks like he does want the supers. He hasn't picked up the charge beam, and even if he did, he still doesn't have a great beam combination, so it makes sense for him to pick up the supers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so far Meridia pretty loaded in this scene.
Yeah, let's see if Maniacal decides to do Shack Tool. This is not in logic as well, but Maniacal knows how to do an ice clip here, and may just go ahead and do it now. This is a pain in the butt to come back to anyway, so I don't blame him for just going ahead and doing it. For normal mode, you have to have Grapple Beam before this becomes in logic, and you might even need Space Jump or High Jump, because trying to get up to that, through that hole, that grapple hole, is not an easy thing if you don't have Space Jump or High Jump.
Yeah, I believe either of those are required for normal logic.
Okay, is it still not quite in the right position, even with that X-ray scope to help get him up higher? Oh, still not quite in the right position for
I
it.
think he needs to get it a little bit lower than that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of time, and there may not be anything of use here, whereas Lack is just going to go ahead and leave.
That looks like it should work.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the right spot. You
Didn't even need the X-ray.
Yep, in that spot, you don't need the X-ray scope. So this is really interesting. So Lack's not going to get that cane for. We don't know where the speed booster is. That cane is going to gate him from finishing Misery Mire or even entering Turtle Rock. Whereas Maniacal, I suspect, will full clear the rest of Meridia and will get the Ice Rod. Now, if Maniacal chooses not to get the rest of Meridia, then we really have an interesting situation, because Ice Rod hunts are the worst, because literally the only places Ice Rod can't be in a Crystal Dungeon Turtle Rock scenario is on Trinex itself and in Ganon's Tower.
Did Lack check both sand pits?
I thought he only checked the one. I don't think either one have checked the left sand pit yet.
I think what Maniacal's going to do is go up Main Street to Aqueduct and then go down the other sand pit.
Yeah, I think so. Which I really like that routing. And he does pick up that super missile. Still thinking in terms of... he doesn't have charge yet, but still thinking in terms, I think, of the potential suitless lower North Fair play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I like routing Meridia from the back. You can do it with minimal backtracking and minimal saves coming.
Yeah, if you ever want to see the nightmare that is Meridia routing, watch someone's 100% run in Super Metroid, and you see how they have to route that, and the amount of backtracking, the amount of times you go through some of the same rooms. Okay, Lack gonna go ahead and open up Turtle Rock. Good call here. You can now go ahead and check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. It looks like it was Bombos for that, so. Okay, we see 50 rupees and missiles at Super Bunny. Maniacal gonna go ahead and glitch this gate. First try.
First try.
And we're gonna see Hookshot Cave. And this will be, if Lack is gonna grab those silver arrows, this is when he's gonna do it. Because one of the reasons you might grab him now is you still have Vitreous to fight, and silver arrows on Vitreous is really nice.
But on the other hand, Gold Sword on Vitreous just wastes him, so...
And we do see a speed booster there, so we'll see if how long it takes him to go back in and do those checks.
Looks like he is gonna go for the silvers. They're definitely nice to have.
Yeah, this is the time to get him if you're gonna get him. If you didn't get him now, then you're not getting him at all. Okay, Maniacal sees the rupees in the Mama Turtle area. Gets his Tempered Sword. That was the gold sword for Lack, because Maniacal hasn't done Kraid yet. So the speed booster, so when Lack goes and kills Dragon, he's going to do it from the back. So the speed booster, the fact that he hasn't killed Dragon yet does not, unfortunately, help him get to the Aqueduct items. Eventually he will get there, hopefully sooner rather than later. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes him, though.
Since he left one sand pit, he'll probably get back there sooner or later and find his cane.
Totally agree. Okay, we're going to see Desert now. I must have missed him picking up... Okay, I was about to say I must have missed him picking up the big key, and I think he forgot to go get it.
I think he was going to pick up the key to, like, check the right side and then realized he has boots in that.
Yeah, that could be too. Okay, Maniacal's gonna go get his Ice Rod now. And we are boots locked. Maniacal picks up that Charge Beam. nice to have. So you won't have to pick up quite as much ammo in the future, but he might still continue to pick up supers until he finds a plasma beam.
Yeah, Ice Wave is not a very strong beam combo.
No, and to give you an idea, on the Mother Brain fight alone, it's 100 shots with Ice Wave and Charge. With Plasma, it'd be 20. So. Okay, we got missiles in desert. And Maniacal continuing to stock up on E-tanks. Now I'm looking at their screen. I'm trying to figure out what else do they need. We're actually. I mean, I don't think we need anything else. I didn't see what the medallion was. I guess he didn't check what the medallion requirement for Meyer was. Of course, Lack having all 3 medallions is not going to really matter. Did Maniacal not? Where was he? Oh, was Ether over near Kraid?
Yes, it was
Okay.
Kraid E-tank.
Okay, so Maniacal will get that. In fact, he's probably going to route the sand pit into the Kraid check and kill. Anyway, where I was going to is I don't think we need anything else for Link to the Past. We need a Varia suit and really something for worst room of the game. Although Ice Charge will do it. I saw something there. What's that? Oh, it's just bombs. Maniacal is going to pick those up because that'll help him get over to Bubble Mountain. We don't have anything for really anything in Norfair right now.
It'll also help him escape Plasma Room if he has to check that.
Yeah.
Which it looks like he's not.
No, right now his only way of destroying the Plasma Pirates is pseudo screws.
Yeah, I think he does have the health for that, but it's pretty slow.
Yeah, it is extremely slow. Yeah, it takes 2 pseudo screws to kill each Plasma Pirate, and you take damage when you do it the first time. Now, Maniacal, we've talked about this a lot. Is he going to go for the suitless lower Norfair play? I still think that's on the table. I don't think he would do it without getting at least one of high jump or space jump. He'd also probably like to get screw attack for that too.
And more supers as well, because you want to have supers both for killing Ridley and for crystal flashing. But yeah, it's a bit unusual for to get all items you need for Link to the Past with this much of Super Metroid left unchecked.
Yeah, for sure.
And without Super Metroid Go mode as well.
Okay, Maniacal gonna set up for his Kraid fight. And that answers the question whether Maniacal picked up a charge beam.
Yep, and we got a successful Kraid quick kill.
Very nice. And Maniacal picks up his gold sword.
That's funny. Not gonna let us see what is on the Meyer medallion because he doesn't need to see.
Yep, he's got all 3.
I just want to know if Hype Cave was required or not.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Is it Quake or is it not Quake? Also, saying no to the bug net.
Yeah, he's likely going to reset this Oh, God.
Ooh, high jump.
That is...
High jump blocked by space jump.
Holy. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was just doing that to check the item. And I like that choice to just quickly dip into there, see if those items are needed. Certainly those high jumps are wanted, but given that they're behind space jump, there's a good chance we're not going to see them.
Yeah, by the time you get space jump, I mean, once you can fly, high jump is nice, but it's not necessary anymore.
Right. Okay, Maniacal done with Kraid, heading down into Norfair. We'll no doubt at least check the high jump boots area. Oh, there's Plasma.
Plasma. And that means Lack is going to get to Microwave Phantom.
And Dragon.
Ah, yes, he hasn't done Dragon yet either.
Okay. I guess Maniacal already checked the high jump boots area. Let's see. Maniacal is not going to go do Eat Death Mountain. So not going to get that speed booster right away. Lack going to do Gauntlet. Maniacal's already done this check. Maniacal buying a whole lot of bottles. You have the money, you have the bottles, you might as well fill them. Especially if you have that flute.
Yeah, and with still having green mail as well.
Oh, this could be a Turtle Rock play.
Maybe. TR is a good dungeon to do at this point because full clearing it is only very slightly slower than go moding it, and it has a lot of items.
It has a lot of items, like you said about go mode. Plus, he wants to go up and check the Dark World items as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 2 climbs up the mountain regardless. Like, usually the theory is, I don't want to do TR until the last crystal so that I can go from TR to GT. But if you're already up here, you're not really saving time on that if you already have really good equipment to do the dungeon. And he's got really good equipment to do the dungeon. The only luxury item the runners don't have right now, as far as Link to the Past goes, is powder to get those free refills from the anti-fairies. But we've got like 4 bottles. And it looks like Lack's going to head over to the wreck ship. Gonna check this item from the back. I could not see what it was. I still didn't see what it was.
I didn't either. It's pretty hard to get the camera high enough without high jump.
Yep. Maniacal gets his speed booster. Looks like Maniacal also going to go ahead and pick up those silver arrows.
With both Vitreous and Ganon and potentially Ice Armos, I can see getting it this early.
Yep. And Screw Attack at the wreck ship. That'll be a nice find for Maniacal when he gets to that, if he still plans on doing the suitless lower Norfair.
Yeah, Screw Attack is invaluable for speeding things up because you can just plow through all those Death Gigas and Key Hunters.
And Screw Attack's such a funny item because if you get it before lower Norfair, then it's great. But a lot of times you get it afterwards, it's not always that great because, you know, it's outlived its usefulness.
Yeah, and you will probably end up turning it off to do Zebskit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lack in his Fantoon fight. Maniacal heading into Turtle Rock. So finally getting some route divergence here.
And that is an extra crispy Fantoon.
We'll see if the wreck ship has anything else good for our runners. Okay, next check in the wreck ship, we have Grapple Beam, which puts Shack Tool in logic, which we already know is nothing.
Nope, just supers.
Power Bombs and a key for Maniacal. And blue mail is a nice pickup for Lack at the wreck ship. Not really needed, but certainly not going to turn that down.
Definitely nice to have.
Okay, Maniacal having a little bit of trouble with that chain chomp room. It's another one of those awful rooms.
I've heard this as another contender for
Yes.
worst room in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, Maniacal took the save scum to check the wreck ship energy tank. So yeah, I feel like Maniacal's plan at this point is going to be, I can full clear the rest of... Wait, did he not go... He just stole the key there. Huh. I think he's declaring himself in go mode. With this lead, I don't love that call. If he had something better for worse from the game, if he had space jump, or if he had high jump even, or screw attack.
I think what he might do is finish his crystal dungeons and do GT, and I think he's hoping by that point, through just residual checks from having to look for keys and stuff, he'll have acquired more ammo, which will make for a more comfy
yeah, I kind of was figuring the same thing, but he's already skipping a chest, and that's what I did not expect. And the way things are right now, he's not going to... If he decides this is go mode, he's not getting screw attack, and we have no idea where space jump is. And he's definitely not getting those high jump boots, because he needs space jump to get them. On the other hand, maybe it's just a gamble to skip that one location. We'll be forced to check laser bridge. Is continuing on to check laser bridge, so maybe just that one item he decided to skip.
Yeah, he might be skipping checks he feels are too slow, but
Yeah,
he'll still do faster ones.
Yeah, also skip Mimic Cave, which is definitely a really slow check. So far, the top half of wreck ship not really giving us much.
This should be a quick try next fight, but I'll have to be a little careful because he will get one shot with 4 hearts of green mail.
Yeah, and he did not take the safety door.
Looks like he's not going to go for the spin double hit setup. He's just going to take it easy. And yeah, we use blue cane.
Yeah, I like that call.
Sure, nothing goes wrong.
So I think the big key chest just ends up being a small key here. So the only thing he ends up orphaning actually ends up being Mimic Cave. Okay, and what is at the wreck ship reserve? Just a reserve tank.
Reserve.
Oh, a reserve tank. Yeah, I don't think Lack has any ideas of doing Lower Norfair without a Varia suit, so he's not going to pick that up. So I don't think the top half of wreck ship had anything.
No.
So the only thing valuable there was that screw attack. Okay, Maniacal gonna head and do his desert and mire. And Lack gonna go ahead and check Red Tower. We have not seen this area yet.
We've seen it a little bit.
Yeah, we saw the power bombs. We saw one item. Yeah, to answer the question, Chad, about Ganon's Tower, suits cannot be in Ganon's Tower. It was one of the very early changes when the randomizer, when this first came out. One of the very early beta seeds actually had Morph Ball in Ganon's Tower, and we all just kind of said no.
Yeah, then you're just doing Link to the Past randomizer and then an SM randomizer
right,
back to back.
which is not the idea. Okay, nothing at the beta power bombs location. You'll see if there's anything behind these alpha power bombs.
More power bombs.
Yeah, definitely not lacking for power bombs. No pun intended. So we're now at the point where we've checked literally everything in logic. X-ray is not in logic. We have not seen that. Plasma's now is in logic with Lack having screw attack if he goes and kills Dragon. And of course, all the hell runs in Norfair. So, which means there's a really good chance that Maniacal may happen upon this berry suit just by clearing these crystal dungeons. Unless, of course, it's in Mimic Cave, which then it's ripped berry suit for Maniacal because he's not going back for it, I don't think. Yeah, Waterway is another. Waterway and the Criteria Supers.
Yeah, X-ray is in logic with grapple.
Right, we have Grapple Beam. Never mind. So we do have those 3 checks. It looks like Lack's gonna head towards at least. Oh, maybe not. Let's see if he goes down the portal. If he goes and checks the speed booster checks, or what just happened? Oh.
I'm not sure if he crashed or reset by accident, but he didn't really lose anything since Top of Wreck Ship was all garbage.
Yeah, that's a good thing because he
So that wasn't...
saved. Yeah, he saved before doing Spike Yerma Death and the Wreck Ship E-Tank.
Yeah, so that was not a huge loss.
Okay, Maniacal, continue on in Desert. Gets her another reserve tank, which, you know, he's preparing for that suitless situation. Maniacal taking a save at the ship. Probably also wants a refill as well.
And with that knowledge, we know that Hype Cave was not wrong, so that's a 0 out of 10, retroactive.
Yeah, maybe even less than a 0, considering we had to turn in the mushroom. Okay, so now that we've gotten to the point where this has happened, you notice Maniacal is paused and Lack is sitting there on the ship. Not sure I know, not quite having all the details, but lackattack has a tornado warning going on. So Maniacal, being the good sportsman that he is, has gone ahead and paused. You'll notice they both paused their timer. I don't know how long this is going to take. Lack says it'll go till, I think he's Eastern time. So he says this will go till 9:45.
Yeah, he did say his power flickered. That may have been the cause of his
I think
reset
so.
there.
I think that was the reset. And like we said, thankfully he didn't lose any progress for that. So I think we're gonna go ahead and let this stay on. Actually, let me do a little bit of communication here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break while we wait this out. I think we're gonna leave the channel on. I'm waiting to hear back from our SG people. So once I hear for sure that we're gonna stay on the air or not, then we'll figure that out. Okay, so we're gonna go to back to the setup screen, and we're gonna stay live. Hitaka and I will be back with you as soon as we get going again, and we'll see you back in hopefully not too long. All right, welcome back, SpeedGaming. We've had a little bit of a tornado warning going on lackattack's side, and as we said, Maniacal, being the sportsman that he is, not going to take advantage of Lack's unfortunate circumstances. We waited it out. We did get the stream started up again about 10 minutes ago, since we do play on a 10-minute delay. So this will start any moment now. For those of you just joining us, my name is Tracy M. With me today is Hitaka. I suppose we should recap a little bit of what's gone on so far.
This has been a seed.
So yeah, in fact, it's funny. We've seen a lot of really fast seeds, but not this one. The runners are basically extremely gated until they finally got their morph ball at Green Pendant Thieves Town. Basically doing all the very little Super Metroid they could do, they did. Ice Beam opening up, say, Alpha Power Bomb. That was about it. And then having to do AGA, a hard required AGA, which is extremely rare, especially in normal mode of SMZ3. So they did have to do AGA, and then getting Flippers and Gravity Suit and Pod, and then getting that Morph Ball in Thieves Town. Then we started to see a little bit of route diversions. Maniacal clearing Meridia from the back to the front by killing Dragon first. Lack just clearing the front, hasn't done Dragon yet. Is missing out on a Cane of Samaria that is in the Aqueduct area that Maniacal snail clip to, which is not in logic, but Lack now has the speed booster, can get it when he thinks to go back there. Thing we're really looking for right now is that Varia suit. Maniacal has been playing such that he's gonna just skip that Varia suit if necessary. May or may not work out, because we know high jump boots are locked by space jump in the GT location. And right now, no high jump boots would mean he'd have to bomb jump, or you do a wall jump off of the ice of a frozen enemy in the worst room of the game. And we are back off. Nice. Okay, so Maniacal was in a run of, I'm going to clear all the dungeons and hope I find what I need. Lack still needing that Cane of Samaria. Not sure I thought maybe he was going to do the speed booster checks at Waterway and at Creature Supers. Yeah, he might still do that.
Oh, he went through the portal to set a save, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, first check in Meyer. And Lack having a little bit of trouble getting that Shine Spark. He does have Ice Beam, which would make this a lot easier. In fact, there's a really nice strat you can use since he's got Charge and Ice and Plasma. What he could do is run towards those enemies with the Charge Beam on and freeze them very quickly while he's running. But he's just going to freeze them and go take that jump. And finds Red Mail.
Maniacal
really
getting
nice.
a Godmire, really big key. He's just going to go finish the dungeon.
Yeah, so we'll see if he goes back in to look for Varia Suit. I don't think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, I think he's going to go all in on Suitless Lore and Orfair. That Red Mail, really nice for Lack, but again, not what he's looking for. Not going to check Waterway, though. And of course, there could still be an item on Vidi itself. Okay, Lack's gonna go ahead and do Ice Palace. I like this call. He can full clear it. I suspect he probably... Oh no, he can't do Icebreaker because he doesn't have the cane, which is unfortunate.
And I'm pretty sure Maniacal hasn't learned it, so I don't think we're going to see an Icebreaker.
No, we're not. No Icebreakers today, yeah. Maniacal, I think it's on his to-do list, but he's been kind of reluctant to learn. Like you were talking about earlier, he's often been reluctant to learn some of the newer strats that have come out since he's been much more part of the SMZ3 community than the past community. And to answer the question in chat, Kane is in Aqueduct. Maniacal was able to get it with a snail clip when he was there the first time. There was no way they could have gotten it logically the first time because the mitts were in Meridia, and the speed booster were behind the mitts at Hookshot Cave. And this is why you pick up silver arrows.
Yeah, real quick work of Vidi.
Like, that right there saves almost the amount of time you took to pick it up, and then plus the Ganon fight. And that is Maniacal's 6th crystal. Just has to do Ice Palace. I suspect he'll be headed there next. Is not going to go back in. It looks like he did get one item, so there's only one item he's left. Okay, heading over towards Norfair. Okay, he's really good on energy, really good on ammo, really good on power bombs. The supers are a little lower than what he'd like, although he runs RBO, and typically when he runs RBO, he'll do it with 30 supers, not 35, so he's got more than that. He's going to go ahead and kill GT. I don't love this choice, mainly because he doesn't get the free energy when he goes back through, since the energy refill room is now the portal back into Link to the Past. You might just be better off going ahead and resetting to the ship, going back to the portal and coming that way. But
this might be kind of close. Oh, you got him.
Does want to at least see the item here, though. He's going to see those high jump boosts.
He's not going to be
very
happy
sad
when he sees it.
He's probably thinking, why couldn't the
Yeah.
It is a shame that he isn't going to go do Fantoon before, because that would get him the screw attack, but in fact, maybe he does go ahead and... Oh, I didn't see a save and quit, so that save, this will take him right back to the ship.
Yeah, I think he was just checking GT there. He wasn't going to do one yet.
Okay, so maybe he goes to Wreck Ship. If he goes to Wreck Ship, he is going to pick up that screw attack, because I believe that was in the in that first check. Yeah. So he can get that for free, basically, and then he'll get that screw attack and be like, okay, these are my choices. I know where high jump boost is. I don't want to look for space jump or barrier. And he'll know exactly the situation he's in. Meanwhile, Lack making his way through Ice Palace. Unfortunately, not really paying attention to what he's getting.
Big 20.
Okay, nothing real good yet. Also want to shout out our new tracker, M. Jolly, joining us. Razor Flame had to leave, so fortunately M. Jolly was willing to step in and take over. Okay, big key in the big key chest.
Maniacal finding that plasma beam will make
that helps
LN much easier. In fact, that alleviates the ambush situation because he can opt to just kill Ridley with charge shots and save super crystal flashes.
I think he is going to go do Wreck Ship. I really like this choice from Maniacal to do Wreck Ship. I really think once he finds that screw attack, he's just going to go for it.
And it looks like Lack tried to hover the pit there. Unsuccessfully.
Oh, didn't quite get himself flush to the top of that room. If you're not flush to the top of that hook shot, flip will not work. But is able to do it for the bottom. It's like, I'm not sure if he's collected all the items, but he is just going to go ahead and go into Cold Stare. This should be a pretty easy fight. Half magic, gold sword.
Yeah, if you knock the puffs into the corner, it only takes 3 more hits to kill him. Pretty easy fight.
Okay, Maniacal picks up that screw attack. The only thing, we may see Maniacal choose to do Ice Palace before going into lower Norfair on the off chance he finds something. But that's just an arrow there for Lack. I don't think we found anything in Ice Palace.
No, it was a big 20 heart container and arrows.
So we are basically down to Waterway, X-Ray, Plasma in Super Metroid, the various who could be at. Pedestal, and I don't know for sure if there's an item at Helmasaur, but if there is, we have Helmasaur, and we do have one more item in. So not a whole lot of places left for that various. And I think Lack's going to go ahead and check Meyer without Kane, which for his situation I think is a pretty good call. He doesn't know.
Yeah, we are missing at least one item in Meyer, so.
Yeah, Maniacal took the God Meyer, and I do believe he got an item on Vidi. So yeah, there's at least one more item there.
In the previous tournament, Varia turned up in Meyer quite a few times. We'll see if it does that again.
Oh, have we done any of the Smith chain? We haven't done any of the Smith chain, so there's a whole bunch of other places that Varia could be at. I think that's what Lack's gonna. Or maybe he's gonna backdoor. Yeah, okay, he's gonna backdoor Meridia first. And just do the thing he knows he can do. And he'll be in position to check that plasma beam location because he does have plasma.
Yeah. And he'll get his cane and go full clear Meyer potentially as well.
And actually, I forgot Maniacal didn't have the grapple beam yet, and that actually is a really significant pickup because it'll just make farming for lower Norfair that much easier.
And I think we also still have not seen the other sandpit. So.
No, I think Maniacal checked the other sandpit when he. I don't remember what was there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Maniacal checked the other sandpit.
Oh yeah, it was morph bombs. That's right.
Yep. Well, those morph bombs are, and actually those morph bombs are because he can use those to get through worst room in the game. Although he may choose to use the ice charge beam to freeze the space pirates in worst room to wall jump or jump off with them.
That would definitely be the faster way, and with plasma they can be frozen shot.
But yeah, Maniacal working really good on ammo, really good on energy. This is going to be very doable. It's not going to be easy. The biggest obstacle being those high jump boots, but now that Maniacal knows those high jump boots are basically inaccessible unless he finds space jump. And looks like he may go ahead and do ice first. I like that choice, even though ice isn't going to give him anything.
Super's still fairly low for this late in the scene.
You really are.
In SMZ3, there were extra super packs added so that ammo wouldn't be as huge an issue.
Yeah, I want to say the max is either 80 or 85.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So I expect we'll see a mostly go mode ice here. Probably, he may not even check the right side. He's definitely, I doubt we'll see him check Ice T. And this is where not knowing how to do the icebreaker. I mean, for him, it's not going to hurt so much because we know there's nothing in here anyway. But the nicest part about the icebreaker isn't even that it makes it faster than just doing the traditional bomb jump. To me, the nice thing about the icebreaker is it puts all your chests on path except Ice T. So it's just when you don't get to go mode Ice Palace, that just makes it so much faster. And Lack making very quick work of Dragon with the microwave beam. But yeah, this is a really interesting situation. I am not going to put Maniacal in any sort of a lead here until he completes lower Norfair. Once he does that, we'll see where the runners are at, because this is very, very doable, and he's done this kind of thing before. But by no means is it trivial.
You cannot microwave Ridley, to answer the question in chat. He absorbs plasma shocks. They don't sit on top of him.
Yeah, you got to remember that in the vanilla game, you're expected to have Plasma Beam when you fight Ridley. So the programmer's guarded against that, whereas when you get to Dragon, or Botwoon, or Phantoon, you are not expected to have Plasma Beam. So it's going to be, so they don't have, so they didn't really guard against the microwave strat. Okay, Maniacal check in the Freezor chest. And I think that's the last thing he's going to check here. Yep.
Yeah, the big key was vanilla, I believe, so no big chest.
Yep, no big chest. Oh, that... Oh,
Oop,
okay,
one
got away. But other than that, yeah, one more shot. And Lack gonna get his cane. But I suspect he's gonna need to keep checking for berries, so I don't see Lackattack doing Suitless Lore and Orfair. But, you know, he could surprise me.
And I'll be getting some morph bombs as well.
Yeah, he also knows where those high jump boots are, so that might incentivize him against it. Okay, let's see where Maniacal heads to. Okay, I think he's gonna do GT first.
Yeah, there's while looking for the big key, there's potential to find more ammo to make that hell run easier. And there's not really any nice-to-haves for Link to the Past that he could still find. I mean, he could find mail upgrades, but he loaded up on blue potions, so that's not really important. He has boots, he has gold sword, he has silvers.
Yep, and he could find space jump in GT. Since the runners have access to Lower Norfair through the warp spot and the portal, and they have bombs to get up Worst Room. There's no guarantee that space jump will be. Space jump would then not be considered the progression item. Okay, we are going to get a new check on Lack's side. He's going to check Plasma. This is one of those places that Varia could be. Could also be space jump. I like the call from Lack to do this. I really like the way both of these runners have routed. It's you know, for a while we saw the same route. Seed kind of gated them into that. The routing since then has diverged, and I really like what both of these runners have done. And Maniacal very early on picking up all those extra E-tanks, just preparing for the possibility that Varia is just going to be in a nasty, nasty spot that he doesn't want to go to. And just supers for Lack. Okay, Maniacal gonna head over to the right.
I'm seeing some numbers in chat.
I'm seeing numbers. We got missiles in the first chest. We have a big key. Okay, number 2. No one got to number 2. The closest was Omega Wild. Omega Wild. Oh my god. Maniacal will have to go grab a small key here before heading up, and he's one on the torch.
There's one. And you know, Maniacal might have been low-key hoping that Big Key wasn't that early so he could get a few more checks in.
No, this actually is really bad for him. Because now, I mean, if the space jump is there, he's not going to get it. Could be some extra super packs that would help him out. He probably will check the top 4 chests when he gets to, but that's about it. That's the only extra safeties he has a chance to get. Okay, Lackattack does get out of the plasma room. The logical way to do that was bombs. I saw he was looking to try and get that shine spark. I'm not sure if he got it or not. Either way, he's out. We have 2 more logical checks in as far as I can remember. We have 2 more logical checks in SM. We have Waterway and we have X-Ray. So it may be that he heads over to those.
Opting not to check Tool now. He'll probably just go do Meyer and Turtle Rock, do out his last Crystal Dungeons. Hope to find Varia there.
Yeah, he might find it in Meyer, and he might find. Yeah, we have 1 item in Meyer left over, and we have, I believe, just Mimic Cave for Turtle Rock. I'm pretty sure the lava chest is going to be a key.
And the big chest as well wasn't checked.
Okay, so there's one. Should be, could be one more item. I don't know if
I'm not sure. I did not count. I didn't keep track.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Maniacal got both map and compass. Okay, Maniacal getting bodied in the gauntlet. With green mail, this is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gets through it, though. Going for his blue potion. I want to say he might actually have 4 bottles, and I think he filled all of them. Unfortunately, missing 2 of those land moles with the silver arrows, but Gold Sword gets the last one. Gold Sword making up for the one he didn't get. Okay, the statement in chat that Lack is way behind, I will not call Lack way behind until Maniacal gets through Lower Norfair, because he's going to go for a hell run without high jump boots. He's perfectly capable of doing it, but he's still got to do it. We'll see what Lack does when he sees the Godmire setup.
I know some people will just go to Vidi, see if there's an item on Vidi, and then if you want to go for the last one, you can go back in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. I like that play a little bit better myself if the if it's a one where you get an item and it's just one left, so you gamble that the second one is on Vidi.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, there's going to be at least one left if he goes for it. Yeah, he's not going to go for it. He's going to go find those items. Or, oh, wait, no. Changing his mind. Okay, he's going to go for it.
Maniacal checked mini helmet chest, did not check the pre-Moldorm chest.
Yeah, that is a... Without powder, that is kind of a pain in the butt to pick up, so I can't say I really blame him. Okay, so no extra SM help here. Okay, Maniacal in his Aga 2 fight. Okay, now he's going to go ahead and fight Ganon.
With Butter and Silver, this should be a pretty quick fight.
Yeah, this should be no problem. And I think he's got at least one more bottle of goo, if not 2. Now, Lack gonna use Gold Sword on Vidi. I'm a little surprised since he went out of his way to pick up those silver arrows, but as you say, this is still pretty quick.
Yep, still definitely gonna use Silvers on the big eye.
Oh, for sure.
Quick 2 shots. It was a small key on Diddy, so no items.
Oh, it wasn't an item. Okay. Well, that makes the decision easier for Lack to go back in, I think, if it's 2 items rather than 1. We'll see what he decides to do. No? Okay. Not gonna go for it.
It's off to Turtle Rock.
Well, we just still have 2 locations that it could be there, so,
Oh, Spike Cave's another thing we haven't seen.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, we have not seen Spike Cave.
Maniacal trying to light Ganon on fire.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. I think he thought he had the silver arrow equipped.
Yeah, I think that was just a mismenu.
Alright, Maniacal finishing up Ganon.
He has 1 game down, but he still has a challenging task.
Okay, gonna probably mirror and then take the flute.
Yeah, because remembering that with that Aga kill, saving and quitting in the Dark World does plunk him right back on the picture.
Yeah, which is not what he wants. And resetting would put him back at the ship. He doesn't want that either. Okay, Maniacal, here we go. Okay, the first obstacle, he is going to need to bomb jump this part.
He did kill Gold Turizzo, I believe.
He did.
So I think it might have been a little less damaging to Shine Spark up, but he gets the bomb jump up pretty easily.
Yeah, the problem with the Shine Spark is you also will lose energy to the Shine Spark itself. So it's really a close call. I'm not sure which would be better. And he does have, I believe, 3 reserves. So this is going to be the hardest part right here. Getting through this room right here. Worst room in the game is really going to live up to its name here. I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes ahead and kills these pirates. And then goes ahead and waits on his reserve tanks to do the Crystal Flash.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll get to... He might go try and
get He might be able to get up there before... I don't know.
I think that's a big risk.
He can try and then bail and just
he could bail
flash if he's not close.
It won't lose him time to try and bail. No, he's gonna bail.
Yeah,
I like the choice to bail on that.
Plus, the Namihe up there is like guarding the flash, so.
Yeah, if you get hit in the middle of the Crystal Flash, it's gonna do damage. And even worse, if you get hit while trying to set up the Crystal Flash, it'll knock you out of position, and it won't happen, and you'll just be dead.
Okay, Lack is going to do a check we haven't seen yet.
Now, one of these, that is a small key.
Just a small key, yeah. That's...
So, that makes sense. I figured one of those had to be a small key, and the other one we don't recall whether there's a map and compass left. I do suspect Lack will check Mimic Cave and the big chest, though.
You know, it was very nice of them, the devs, to put all these little platforms up amphitheater, even though you're expected to have space jump.
Yeah, I truly believe that, I don't know if full-on RBO, full-on Suitless Lower Norfair, was intended or not. I do think, you consider the way a lava dive works perfectly with high jump boots, and you consider that the heated rooms are heated rooms in Lower Norfair, So we talked about earlier how some of the earlier bosses where you don't expect, where the game developers didn't expect you to have plasma beam, are extra vulnerable to plasma beam, but that's not the case down here. They obviously prepared for people to come here without various suit, because these are all heated rooms.
Just bombs in Mimic Cave.
Okay, so we got the big chest now. Okay, I think Maniacal is going to go ahead and kill these Duskigas. Check power bomb's a shame because it's on the way. Maybe it's E-Tank. Oh, a supers is just almost as good.
Will help. Just a big
And
20 in the big chest.
Probably going to set up for his next Crystal Flash very.
Yeah.
I think I'll do it right here.
In fact, yeah.
Okay, good to go. Yeah, so now that we've seen the rest of what's in Turtle Rock, we are left with the two items in Mire, Helmosaur, Spike Cave, Ped, Waterway,
X-Ray.
I think that's it.
A lot of unpleasant places.
Yeah, nowhere you to go. Okay, Maniacal gonna farm up a little bit here. Probably do one more Crystal Flash before he goes in. It'd be nice to have those supers. Fortunately, he does have a Plasma Beam to back up the supers. Looks like he's going to reset the room to get a few more power bombs out of it. I like that choice. His energy is really good for farming, but at some point he's going to want to do a Crystal Flash before he heads in.
Yeah, he'll do one before Ridley and then one after Ridley or on the way back.
Yep.
And that should get him set to Fire Fleas, where he can farm all the PBs he wants if he needs more.
Okay, meanwhile, Lack in his Trinex fight.
And full on supers.
Okay, Maniacal waiting out that energy. Gonna get that last Crystal Flash soon. Would like to see him farm a little bit more during this, get at least that one last super pack. Or that one last super missile, but this should be fine. Okay, and to answer the question in chat about hell runs are never required in normal logic. This hell run that Maniacal is doing is never in logic, in any logic. He's at least gonna start out with the beam combination. He may choose to switch to supers at some point, and then he can at least save. You know, if he gets like Ridley half done with the charge ice wave plasma, he might choose to switch and just make sure he has enough to do that Crystal Flash when he's done. And that looks like what he's doing.
He has supers to spare. He could do something like 10 charge shots, 15 supers.
Yep.
I would do it.
Yeah, it looks like Ridley's dead. Just needs to get picked up. That was very nicely done.
Not even gonna check the item.
Nah, I mean, the only thing that could be there that would help him is an E-Tank.
Or Space Jump.
Or Space Jump, yeah. Yeah, Space Jump would be nice right now.
At this point, Space Jump wouldn't even help that much. All the big climbs.
No, yep, all the worst parts are done. I would have liked to see him Crystal Flash before this room, and the next room are really not going to be great rooms for Crystal Flashing. But if he should be able to get right through the Space Pirates and should be able to just do it in the next room.
Yeah, he'll be able to get to Wasteland.
Yeah, he's got with those reserve tanks. You know, we noticed him picking up those reserve tanks. You could tell he was already thinking way ahead. This could be a bad Varia seed. Let's just go ahead and do this. And no, completely missed. Lack has just decided, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and finish up Link to the Past as well.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. As long as I haven't found Varia, I'll grab any E-Tank, any reserve, and supers and PBs, as long as they're not super out of the way.
Yeah, the only question is Lack gonna also go for these hell runs? And my feeling is probably not. One, because he hasn't been going out of his way to pick up some of the extra E-Tanks and reserves, but also I don't know Lack as well in terms of this game. I think of these as kind of his secondary game since he's so good at some of the regular Nintendo games. So he may not be as practiced at doing these kind of hell runs. So probably he's gonna hope to find Varia pretty easily after he's done with this. Okay, Maniacal's energy looking really good for getting out of here. Is going to take the safety save. He has no power bombs, but he can farm at the Fireflies. I suspect we'll see that.
I think with his reserve, I think he's got enough plenty to get out with Crystal
he
Flash.
might.
And getting a super drop from the Red Key Hunter now has enough of those as well.
Yeah, he's just gonna go for it. Okay, he's almost there. And this screw attack is really gonna shine right here, getting through the last little bit with the 3 Musketeers. And a couple more, one last heated room on the exit. He's got 3 full reserves. He is good to go. And now I will officially declare him with a big lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was done really well.
That was a really clean Or North for Hell run.
And not to take away anything from lackattack, he's played really well in his own. Definitely, if things had broken a little bit differently, if Lack had found the Varia suit in one of those locations that Maniacal didn't check, we could be talking about a very different story. But Varia is just somewhere.
this was just a mean seed, and it just didn't stop being mean. Varia,
no, it really
didn't. Still haven't found it, but it's in a bad spot. Everything that's left is a bad spot.
Yeah, one of the things I wish that Total would get to, and to be fair, he's done such a great job with this randomizer. This very, very small criticism, really not even a criticism. But I wish that we could see what the pet item is at the end of the credits when it goes Link to the Past. When you do Link to the Past second, it still just says Master Sword. Not that we're gonna see that anyway, but. It would be nice to just get that information at the end, because Varia very well could have been there. We had pet access really early, and we actually ended up full clearing 2 pendant dungeons in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm now going to go through the portal so we can get back. This is the quickest way back to Super Metroid. He'll save and quit. Actually, he doesn't have to save and quit, because it saves as you walk. We'll reset. Meanwhile, Lack in his Aga 2 fight.
Interesting. He opted to farm extra PB in Frog Speedway so he could Crystal Flash, because the really slow part of ship refill is the energy refill.
Yep.
That's what takes forever. So that was faster overall. Nice little optimization.
I never even thought about that. That's really cool. And Lack gonna head into Ganon as Maniacal heads into Turian. So the question about pod ever dipped, everything was dipped. Like literally. I'll name off the locations we haven't seen yet again. So in Super Metroid, we haven't seen X-Ray and Water. We haven't seen a large number of the Varia locations haven't been seen either, but Varia can't be there, so those are irrelevant. On the Link to the Past side, we did not see 2 items in Mire. We have not seen what's on Helmasaur, which might be a map or compass anyway, we're not sure. We have not seen Ped. We have not seen Spike Cave. I think that names them all.
I don't think we ever saw Smith Chain either.
All right, Smith Chain. So yeah, so that's like what 3? Yeah, that's 3 checks. I mean, we never saw Powder, so like that's not even. Yeah. Yeah, Hammer Pegs, Smiths themselves, and of course the purple chest. Probably the least bad of all the choices they had. When the Smith Chain is the least bad of your choices, that's saying something.
Yeah, if Lack is gonna keep looking for Varia, then probably the first place will go. That's the highest item density left.
Okay, Maniacal finishing off Ganon.
With no high jump, we're not gonna see a baby skip this time.
Nope. Nope, not at all. And you might see Maniacal do another Crystal Flash after, a little bit faster to do that. Of course, he'd have to pop his reserves first to do it. Okay, turning off Screw Attack in preparation for a Zeb skip.
No, we do not have the book.
Yeah, so books checks could be that. Could be it too. But I mean, the book would have to be in one of those locations then for it to be behind the book. And Lack looks like he's finally gonna turn in that green pendant. We know it's nothing. And now he knows it's nothing. Yeah, I think you're right. This is going to be a Smith Chain start. Maniacal gets his Zeb skip, while Lack grabs the Smith. See if they're making a very suit for us today. Okay, with this beam combination, it will take 20 shots for Maniacal to finish off Mother Brain 2. Just missiles. Didn't see what was at Hammer Pigs, but it was not Varia.
It was a heart piece.
Heart piece, and not going to help us out. Maniacal setting up for stand-up glitch. And it wasn't the Smith Chain. Maniacal doing a nice job with this stand-up glitch. Okay, Spike Cave check.
Checking Spike Cave.
I really want to see where Varia is, so I'm hoping it's here. Because I don't think he's going to get another check. He's not going to get too many more checks before Maniacal's done at this point.
Yeah.
And very nice stand-up glitch. I think it's only like 2 or 3 shots there. This wouldn't be the first time we've seen Varia here.
Oh no!
instead,
more fetch quests, but he can get pedestal.
Okay, all that's left for Maniacal is the escape. Okay, I think we're going to at least get a book check here. Maniacal into the lead axe room. Of course, this room really sucks without high jump boosters, especially no high jump, no space jump, but no high jump really matters here. But he gets through it. We'll be able to get the Shine Spark here.
Ether tablet, just another missile.
Ugh. Alright, Maniacal finishing up. With an unofficial time of about 3 hours, 7 seconds. Official SRL time of 3:21:45, but don't forget that does include a bit of a delay we had for a tornado warning that Lackattack had to wait out. And of course, Maniacal being a good sport and waiting for Lackattack to deal with that and go get through that.
And we are joined by Maniacal in the call.
GG's, that was an interesting one.
That was a very clean, well done warfare.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, sorry, I was having a little audio trouble. All I heard was "well done," so thank you. unless you were like, man, I like my burgers well done. In which case, I mean, like, I can respect it, I guess.
Well,
I was just saying that was a very clean and well done. Very helpful.
Yeah, your low and warfare was very nice. Well, I mean, you didn't have high jump. Base jump.
Yeah, I
right
found
there,
high jump.
Yes, you did.
It was, I took some extra space pirate hits, like I had to bail on my worst room bomb jump because I didn't want to do the spring ball jump. And I took a hit from the pirate that like screwed up my health and I was 100 short. So there was a bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah,
but that seed was a disaster.
Oh yeah, that was a very rude seed.
Well, you guys were so gated for such a long time, and the hard required AGA play that was as early as I've ever seen in an S3.
Yeah, it was like 40-minute green mail master sword AGA, which like whatever, okay, sure, run NMG. I don't care, but it was crappy, is what it was. I last locationed the glove, and then went and last locationed the lamp, and then I took that and went ahead and like last locationed whatever was in AGA or like Hera or wherever the progression was. I last locationed something in Hera that then got me AGA, or I last locationed whatever was at Zora. What was at Zora then, if it wasn't? Flute, that's what it was. So it was glove and then flute and then lamp up at Hera, and then I split pod against Catfish and felt like I last location the damn hook shot, but
Yeah.
Whew.
Also joining us now is Lackattack. We were just talking about how bad that seed was.
Yeah, it was quite an adventure.
yeah, GG Lack. I'm glad
yeah.
that the weather cooperated.
Yeah,
for
most
Mhm.
importantly,
Get
you're
through it.
okay.
Oh yeah, we did take cover, but it was pretty windy. I was like, let's wake the baby up and go sit downstairs in the bathroom. But
yeah, that
no worries.
seems judicious.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I last locationed so many items. Really, it just really slowed me down.
Yeah, I was saying it was like the 4 things that were all really throttled early on. The glove in Bryn's ceiling was the last location, and then for me it was flute at Zora because I had to farm for Zora, and then
yeah.
I went to Alpha Power Bombs Morphless with Ice, hoping it was that, even though Ice had led me to the glove, so it was kind of an idiot play. But I felt behind, and so I went and did Alpha Peeps before doing Hera.
I did the same thing, actually.
You guys both did basically the same things, just in slightly different order.
Yeah.
Yeah, my early game, I kind of played it a little differently than I normally would, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, nothing I was doing was working either. It was really frustrating early. Like, the one play I made was not going all the way in Thieves Town, so I left. I was like, oh well, there's like 9 items outside.
Been there.
So I skipped that, and of course Morph is there, and
yeah, I didn't want to catch myself in that in Thieves, so I just stayed out of it on the first loop, and like was like, okay, I want to get down to Hype Cave and just dodge going into any of these dungeons, because it was like a who's who of pendant dungeons that were available that all could be trap plays.
Yep.
I did go back and kill Armos Knights though.
I think you both did.
Yeah, you both did that at about the same time.
Yep.
I found the Varia.
Wait, where? Oh man, I guess don't tell me. I'll let the stream find out where the Varia is.
I think I know where it's going to be because I see where you're at.
SRL.
I have a feeling too.
Well, he's still playing it.
Yeah, I just found it, so you'll see it in 10 minutes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I checked 10 minutes of locations to now find it, and it makes no sense to come here, but I guess you'll see it.
Yeah, I almost feel like we should just let the restream stay. Let me see if there's anything coming up after this, because, oh my god, yeah, that I was thinking maybe it'd be Pet at this point, because we were ticking down the locations. Maniacal, you made the decision to call yourself in go mode. I kind of had a feeling that you were picking up extra E-tanks and extra reserves all over the place. You were already, I don't know which point you decided to just guard against that, but very early we saw you picking up some reserve tanks that you're not going to pick up if you're expecting to get Varia suit. And then
it was as early as the first Bryn loop that I started grabbing like the 2 extra reserves, like the Spore Spawn supers. I almost left the reserve, and I was like, no, absolutely not. Because there's no fanfare, right? So like it just there's so little cost to having it in case you need it, and I'm pretty bad at suitless lower Norfair with weird loadouts. So, but
yeah, that's and the super amount you guys got is very low super seed in terms of just sheer numbers. You get so used to having like 70 and I think when you got your 40th at Powerbomb to Shame, I think you had 40
because I went in with 35.
Yeah.
Because I wanted 3 crystal flashes. And so how about, I did some weird late game stuff where I was like, okay, Turtle Rock opened, and so I went and did Turtle Rock, and then went to do Desert and Mire, hoping that one of those would have my Varia so I could route directly to Lower Norfair. But then like had to go do Ice and GT because I still didn't have a loadout for it. And then after that went and did Wreck Chip, and so on the way I was like, okay, I need to be an opportunist, and got like Plasma, Screw Attack, and Grapple. I was just like, what is this?
Just the game's way of telling you, just go do Suitless Lower Norfair, I guess.
Well, I was going to do it when I found Plasma.
Yeah.
and I was probably going to struggle mightily with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I was
speed
like,
tag
this
makes
is
a
what I
huge
have to
difference.
do.
Yeah, I considered it too. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check. I'll check Turtle Rock. I skipped everything in Meyer, and I said, all right, I guess if I don't find it, I'll just go. But I don't know. I chickened out. I said, I thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just said, I thought. I think I've done it once before, but I think I had a lot more E-tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had 9 plus 3 reserves, but I don't know. I wasn't too comfortable with it, and figured it would probably take me a minute to do a check, and hopefully it was there. But
Yeah, and oh, by the way, how about that high jump boost location?
yeah,
That is a rude
Toying.
high jump location.
So I'm
Did
like,
we
well,
find
I
Those
guess
space jump.
no. I'm guessing it's a Norfair because
Yeah, probably.
yeah. It's just-
Because yeah, we were ticking off the locations, and by the time we got to the end, it was like the 2 items in Meyer, which we've now seen, it isn't there. Lackey had just done the Smith chain at that point, so not there.
Ped, which we now know is
Helmasaur.
dead.
Ped, yeah. Waterway, and X-Ray.
only I have the answer.
Oh yeah, X-ray. How about that? Oh yeah, Upper Red Tower I didn't do. So I guess there was that stuff too.
I did.
Spazer.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw that on Lack's side.
Yeah. I did a lot of like those one-off checks. I thought the Meridia play I made, I almost left. I went into Meridia and did like Mama Turtle and Main Street, and then I was going to leave. I said, well, I'll just do gravity jumps, and then I found Titan's Mitts and was like, okay, well, this is all out of logic still. I guess you could go the back way and go down, so maybe it's
That's
not
what I
out of
did.
logic. Okay.
But there was still a lot that was gravity jump locked. The mitts weren't. But
Correct.
like going,
Yeah.
I think actually there were ways to all the items. They weren't clean. Kana Samaria was speed locked though.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Maniacal was able to
was-
do a snail clip, which gave him a bit of an advantage there.
Oh,
And
I see.
With speed on Dark Death Mountain, that's a logical double dip for Meridia.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was one more rude thing the seed did. When I found speed, I was like, oh, okay, you're going to do this too.
Yeah, and especially the old, let's check the one item that you can check, and I believe the first one was missiles.
It was like, yeah, it was missiles
Yeah,
because I jumped
missiles.
over them. And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have.
So, Maniacal, were you happy or not happy to get such a quick GT key? Were you hoping maybe to get a couple more checks for maybe a little more ammo?
I mean,
or Space
I
Jump
wouldn't-
maybe was in
I
there.
wouldn't have minded like an E-Tank or, Screw Attack could have still been there. There was a lot of stuff that could have been there. And so, like, you saw me grab a second key because of I knew the strat that I wanted to run in the mini Helma room. I wanted to ignore the Helmas and hit the chests.
Yep.
And so I wanted 2 keys going up. But, like, it didn't pan out anything. What I was able to check in GT, I got, like, 1 missile pack.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because, I mean, Space Jump could have been in there, too, since you had logical access to Norfair with bombs and the portal. So, I mean, Space Jump could have been in there.
Exactly. So there were things that I was kind of hoping to see in GT, but then like it was the big key right away. I was like, well, I guess we're going up because it was so hard for me to tell where I was in the seed. I felt like the Bryn loop into Swamp following Pod into Meridia that I routed was like very, very clean and lucky. And so I felt like I gained an edge there when I hit Ice Rod. I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. But there was just so much stuff that I had already cleared from like the misery that was the early game that it wasn't clear to me like how much of a lead I could possibly have other than some Super Metroid stuff, and it was likely movement stuff there.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it was all those little things. The cane gave you a nice advantage, getting that on the first trip in there.
You two actually routed the same from to Bryn Loop into Swamp.
Oh man.
From what into Swamp?
From Bryn
From
Loop.
Morph
From
and then Bryn
getting
Loop into
Hammer
Swamp.
and then going back.
Yeah,
Getting your boots
yeah,
Hammer and being like, okay, let's do Swamp.
just playing the item density. That's all I was doing. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew I was gonna.
Red Crystal.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
the early game was, very similar routing but not exactly the same. That eventually converged, and then Maniacal, you got that morph ball a little bit ahead. Lack, you had already checked Skullwoods, so you got there a little bit later. But Maniacal lost that time later. Actually, lost a little more time because he did the back first, and of course, both items were in the front.
Yeah.
So, and then of
Right.
course, you take your morph ball into Super Metroid, and yeah, very similar routing at that point.
Did we? Well, I went to Skullwoods right after.
After
Yeah.
Swamp, yeah, because you get the fire rod.
Because you get,
on
and
the
then
left
you got
side.
5, 6.
Yeah,
that.
but you dipped it earlier.
Yeah,
You did the front chest, and Maniacal didn't dip it at all until he had.
Oh,
the
so he had to do it, and then I kind of
You
was
just
able to
went
catch
back,
up just
yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
you guys kept
the
pace pretty well, and it's just that the extra little bit of experience Maniacal has doing things like snail clips and variable slow and Norfair just gave him that much of an edge.
Yeah, those things are important. They can
figured
really make a difference.
Yeah, when I saw that for me it was going to be a suitless lower Norfair seed, I felt like that played in my favor for sure, because I think that Lack probably has a slight edge on the Link to the Past side, just in terms of general knowledge and execution. And so I felt like with his Link to the Past heavy as it was early, I was like, okay, I might not even be able to keep pace. I might be like 3 minutes behind on execution just on rooms that I haven't done in a while, like Castle Tower without boots and things like that.
Yeah, I almost died in Castle Tower. I was down to half heart in the like the pot room with
that was a little scary.
it was very scary. Yeah,
I was very scared into those rooms, so I just was like, I got Bombos Medallion, I got half magic, let's go.
That's a very
bad
good point. Yeah, very good point.
I was like, it's going to be slow, but these things are going to die, and I'm not going to die.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it really tested my knowledge of like Link to the Past, because I don't think I've ever had a seed quite like that where there was progression in the first 2 items in SM, and then you had to go Dark World like without really doing anything in Light World, and you get your glove. Like I did everything in Link to the Past, and then went to SM, got my glove, and then was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go to Catfish.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I didn't really have anything.
As badly as you last location the glove, Black actually got to it later because he did some fake flipper stuff first.
I also fake flippered first. I went up and did Waterfall and Hobo.
Right, but yeah, he got to the Zora item, got to that flute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't have rupees for Zora at the time, so I had to go back and farm later after getting the glove and being like, okay, the glove splits 2 items in back of escape against only Zora, of course.
Yeah.
Or
and there it is.
Dark Rooming on Death Mountain. So it had to be Zora.
Is that literally the last? That is literally the last, isn't it?
I think it is.
So where was it? I'm not watching.
X-ray.
X-ray.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I guess you were supposed to get your grapple beam from Wreck Ship and then go get various suit.
And at that point, X-ray is not on. I mean, I guess
it's not on
you'd
your radar
done
because
Wreck
you'd
Ship
already
earlier.
You'd
The
already
top of
come
Wreck
this
Ship had
way.
nothing.
I mean,
Okay.
or I did. I came this way. I mean, we both came this way for Red Tower, but
I mean,
I
I
did
guess
the
if-
phaser.
I guess if you did early Wreck Ship, but both of you put that off to way late, and that's probably worked out pretty well because we saw it was up top, and thankfully, that was the stuff you lost, Lack.
I know,
When the power flickered and there was nothing.
I looked at my phone and it started buzzing crazy, and I'm like, oh, tornado warning. That's not good. And then the power flickered like immediately. Luckily, I had just saved to do save scum on the Wreck Ship item.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's where I went back, and then there was nothing in the attic, so I was able to just leave from there. So I probably lost like a minute. So,
Yeah. So
other than
not
the
a huge
shock, I
loss.
just sat at my. I thought I had to do Fantoon again initially, but always
That would've
just
sucked.
always save. Always save.
Yeah.
Never
that's
know what's
why
going to happen.
When we committed to pausing for like 20 minutes, I was like, I'm going to take a save and quit and walk back here because I don't want a power outage. Because at that point, I would have lost Turtle Rock and Desert.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And I should protest. I should protest playing under pause rules. Unreal.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad about it. I hope that didn't make a difference. My power held up.
I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah,
it didn't affect the race at all. I thought it actually was a nice mental break because I was like really exhausted from how the seed had gone so far.
Oh yeah,
So
I was
I'm
trying
glad.
to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Lack is taking care of weather things, and so I'm not going to let myself commit to thinking too much. So I really tried to keep myself from thinking about like what my sequence was and what my contingency plans were for Suitless Lower Norfair, because I just wouldn't have felt it was fair under a race scenario to like let myself have that thought time. But like it still was nice to be able to stand up, stretch, get some water, breathe.
Yeah,
and then when we got back into it, I was like, oh gosh, what am I doing? I'm executing my Meyer. What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So moving on, Maniacal, you are into the brackets. Congratulations. Lack,
thank
you get to play one more match between the winner of Messer and Yield Fart Gamer. Any thoughts on that one?
It's Dorkmaster, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Dorkmaster.
Messer. God, I keep getting you and Azur's group mixed up, Maniacal. It was Yield Fart Gamer and Messer.
And Dorkmaster.
And Dorkmaster.
Dorkmaster.
Yeah, I see. I'm still doing it. To be fair, you both had very weird circumstances in your seed because Azure and his opponent in the last end Blandation had the phantom map thing happen.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh right.
The Phantom Mampus.
But yeah, so okay, so Lack, what are your thoughts about your upcoming match, and then I can talk about moving.
Well, I mean, the race with Fleck was really it was really close. So I know he's a capable player. I watched the first match with Maniacal and Yield Fart Gamer, and that was a really rough seed for them because Maniacal and I talked about this, but missing speed booster at the Bubble Mountain, and then Gamer just giving up. As I'm sure Maniacal was really racking his brain on where the progression could be. At that point, you're like, well, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be something, and I mean,
it
just walking around
good.
in circles. No, I was hoping for that tonight, but it could have. It could have. Yeah, it could have with this setup. Like, it really could have. So,
yeah, it's
just because
it's possible that you miss like Hera or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, like something dumb like that. I don't know where you could have not gotten throttled because ice was a pretty good tell at the ceiling item, and like there really wasn't you couldn't open the world enough to get lost in it early.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it back.
Oh, me too. That's probably what I'm gonna do basically immediately. Is I'm going to queue up the VOD and check it out, because I didn't actually get to watch your other race back, even though I had threatened to do so. I just ran out of time this week.
I hear you.
Yeah, and
so I was like, man, I don't know like how Lack plays this. I don't know what his like tendencies are. So it was just a giant wild card, and I have a ton of respect for lackattack as a player. And so I was like, if I'm last locationing this many things in a seed, I need to like really turn it on and like get something. And then Meridia just was so broken in my favor that I was like, okay, this is exactly the texture of go mode that I think favors me in the matchup. And I think that like after finding Ice Rod at Watering Hole, I was like, okay, I feel ahead at this point. But up until that point, I felt very just sort of afraid of the seed in a sense. But yeah, this was a fun one. I'm glad to have been able to put together a 2-0. In I guess locked up a good seed in brackets. I think Lack has a very strong chance at putting together the 2-1 and making it through to brackets himself. Just from what little I did catch, I think his go mode was like, I think he got like a 240 or something in the first race.
Yeah, that was my best race or best time I'd ever gotten in SMZ3. So it was really good.
Fast seeds. Apparently, I don't get to calm the fast seeds, but we've seen some fast seeds in the tournament.
To be fair, this one, like, for as crappy as it was, I'm actually really happy with the time that I actually put up in a sense.
Yeah,
Where
for sure.
it was a sub 3, which is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a seed like this, I'm actually happy with a sub 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't sell yourself short, Maniacal. I do think that you execute that lower Norfair very well. Like, even just the presence of mind to realize, in the worst room in the game, and you're starting that bomb jump, to realize, nope, I'm not making it up there. Let's cut my losses, go back down, do the crystal flash. Just little things like that. I just thought it was very well done.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't feel the same about it. I felt like, oh gosh, I've just thrown away 200 health.
We're always our hardest critics.
In bad spots, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to use an extra crystal flash pre-Ridley, but I'm going to have enough time to do an extra grapple farm on the violas and be sure that I can set myself up for like a flash on the way out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ridley dropped pretty okay supers. I think I got 4 or 5 supers from Ridley, and that was helpful as well, because Ridley's behavior was a bit of a jerk, but the drops were fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have too much else to say about this one. It was a bit of a doozy early, but I think it's probably going to be a fun one to watch back. Definitely GG to Lack, and I'm glad we're able to complete the race. And huge thanks to you, Tracy, and you as well, Hitaka, for the commentary. I'm glad that y'all were willing to set aside some time this evening to commentate this one.
Oh, absolutely. Anything for you guys. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Maniacal, I was so honored when you just specifically asked me to do this race. I knew you guys were playing Lack. We met at SGDQ last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that, and I was just really, really happy to be able to do this commentary. So thank you guys for getting us together to do this. And Hitaka, great job on your first commentary. I hope you do more.
Thanks. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think I will try to do more in the future. And it was definitely a good one to watch. This was a heck of a season. And a heck of a race.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for all of us. Again, thank you to our runners, Lackattack and Maniacal. Thank you to Hitaka for joining us. Thank you to both our trackers, M. Jolly for coming in late, and Razor Flamecun for doing the ones at the beginning. And thank you to all the SpeedGaming people. Thank you, of course, to Miss Metroid, as always, putting together this tournament. I may be officially an organizer, but she does most of the hard work. Definitely a big shout outs to her. But let's see, is there anything else on the schedule tonight? This may be the last one, but there's a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. I'm not going to run through all of it, but let me see if there's any. Yeah, so this is. Oh, wait, no. Okay, no. There is a race going on right now, but it's not being restreamed. It looks like the next race will be at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, Thornito versus Dr. Bob Tastic, and others to come also tomorrow. There's a whole lot of matches still to go. One more week of groups, and then we'll get to brackets, and that's gonna really looking forward to those brackets. But yeah. So if there's anything else anyone wants to add, I'll give you a chance right now, and other close it out.
Yeah, thanks again. I really appreciate just y'all doing the race and sticking with me through the delay.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's your safety and your family's safety is just paramount. So
yeah,
really glad that everything was okay there.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely. I'm glad we're able to put together a good race, and that everyone's safe, and we still were able to finish playing. So GG, Lack. Good luck in the next race.
Thank you very much. GG.
All right. So that will do it. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.
Good night.